whoever that was now there. I don't know why, but they're lying dead in front of me. I told you there's a corpse hanging around here.
No way!
Are they really dead? Is this a dead body? You need to begin looking around right away, however. Be ever so careful. There's no telling what you might find. We need to find out who this actually is, but there's no way to tell what it is. And the white coat they're wearing makes it impossible to tell by the body themselves. The victim's a total mystery. The one thing I do know. That whoever this is, they attacked me last night in my room, but why? How did they wind up dead in here? Their heart isn't beating, they're not breathing. All signs of life had come to a complete stop. Thanks to the knife that's been driven right into their stomach, their clothes are stained bright red. That's purple, fucker. It appears the bleeding has stopped, but the blood that's there is still wet. Be careful you don't touch it and get some on you. How can you be so calm in a time like this? Who is it? Their face and body are all hidden, so I don't have a clue. I'm pretty sure it's a girl, at least. How can you tell? Well, I think they see the outline of her chest and the general shape of her body. Yeah, the more I look, the more I'm sure it's a girl. Really, then it could be. Okay, then. Let's just tear the mask clean off.
Come on.
Wait, don't. But by the time he called out, it was already too late. Took his hand shot out towards the mask. And the next instant, there's a blinding light and a deafening roar. The body blew up. Blew up, it blew up, it blew up, it blew up. My vision started to darken. I prepared to pass out.
Come on.
Hurry up and put out the fire. As my consciousness attempted to float away, that voice reached up and pulled it back down to earth. Someone pressed something into my hands. It was a bucket of water. Come on, dump the water on it. Okay, if you had it, why didn't you just use it? The upper half of the body was on fire. I took aim and tossed water as hard as I could. Thankfully, that was enough to put it out. Died down, leaving behind only the unpleasant smell of a burning body. Well, I guess that took care of it. But what the hell, man? It exploded?
What did
I
you
had
say?
a bad feeling about that body, but I never imagined it would explode. And now the body... Where did...
What?
Burned to a crisp. That's beyond well done, man. Don't compare it to a steak. It will never be able... I'll never be able to eat steak again. Now the body's charred, I really have no idea. How are we gonna find out who it was? Who isn't here right now, huh? If we consider who's not here, that will quickly narrow down who it must be. There's only one person missing. It's Kyoko. Kyoko? And that dead body is Kyoko? No, that can't be right. Calm down, I didn't say it was Kyoko, but I mean, who else? There is one other person. The mastermind. What? The mastermind? Come on, there's no way the mastermind got charbroiled. Get serious. I agree, normally that idea wouldn't be worth considering, but I have reason to believe it may be true. The mastermind being dead would explain that other matter, wouldn't it? Monokuma can hardly move around if its master is dead, right? But that corpse is a girl, right? It doesn't make any sense. I mean, remember what Alter Ego said? So the same person may very well be the mastermind who planned all this out. And according to the files, the headmaster is a man in his late 30s. It seems possible, even likely, that he's somewhere in the school right now.
What the heck?
You said the mastermind is some kind of middle-aged dude, right? Which the corpse obviously isn't. Then could that mean the mastermind isn't the headmaster? Is a teenage girl Kyoko told me about? The ultimate despair? Huh? Mukuro Ikusawa, the 16th student at Hope's Peak.
What?
What are you talking about? The other day, Kyoko confided in me. She said there was a 16th student here in the school.
What?
I think you better tell us everything you know. All Kyoko told me was...
Mukuro Ikusawa, the 16th student, lying hidden somewhere in the school. The one they call the ultimate despair. Watch out for her.
It sounded like Kyoko thinks this Mukuro Ikusawa is the mastermind. No, the headmaster isn't the mastermind, I'm sure of it. What? I don't have proof yet, but I have no doubt that I'm right.
I see.
There's another student here, and it's female. That would match the body's characteristics.
So,
And that phrase, the ultimate despair, sounds super mastermindy, doesn't it? Okay, so the mastermind is this girl, Mukuro. And she's a student here, and she's the ultimate despair. But she's been hiding here in the school like some teenage Bigfoot. How'd she wind up burnt to a crisp?
What the heck?
None of this makes any sense to suddenly show up and die. I think we better take a closer look at the body. There may be some clues to help figure out exactly who it is. Hey, wait. What? Aren't we forgetting something, you know, Toko? Oh yeah, she got totally nuked, didn't she? Forget about her. I'm sure the explosion vaporized her. Oh, she survived. Oh, she survived. Oh, what happened, Master?
Stop talking.
You declared for the whole world to hear that you would never... You declared for the whole world to hear that you would never again inhale a single molecule of oxygen. Oh, then I don't mind breathing in the carbon dioxide you inhale. That's enough for me to live.
What the heck?
That's the strangest back and forth I've ever seen. Okay, let's start here. Right now I have to focus on the body. Please let... Aww. I should take a close look at the body one more time.
So,
Watch yourself, Makoto. She may be dead, but she's still a girl. Don't worry, I don't plan on touching the body all that much. I'm not Kyoko after all. Hold on, there's something on the ground there. Oh, come on. There's something next to the body. It's a key? Is it what Kyoko took from Monokuma? But what did you steal? I stole this. Oh, Toki. What's up? I didn't see you come in for a second. What's up, man? How are you? A key? Looking at it, I could tell it wasn't just any key. And no, it was supposedly a key. I mean, it was shaped like... Oh boy, it was shaped like Monokuma. It was probably the only key of its kind on Earth. Yeah, no, this girl just got hardcore nuked. This isn't anything like that key. Then this key is...
What?
What, did you find something? Yeah, this was on the ground near the body. I've never seen this key before. What could it possibly go to? Just woke up and ate a bunch of flaming hot Cheetos. Boy, sounds like you're living life. I am not one for spicy shit. Like, even hot Cheetos, I'm not a fan. So even you don't know then. Makoto, I'm going to give you a very important task, huh?
I see.
That key might give you access to certain areas we thought were locked. You mean...
So, in other words...
The biolab, the data center, the headmaster's room, and the door and rooms on the second floor. It's in your hands. So I'm the errand boy now? Okay, so I guess I'm just looking around now. Okay, let's start with the biolab. But yeah, no, have you never seen Danganronpa, Toki? I'm just mildly surprised. Is that one of my... What? Is that one of my girl cartoons? Please. Door to the data center was definitely locked before. Let's give it a shot. Click. Nope, it's Danganronpa. Danganronpa. Supposedly. I don't know. Some people say it's Danganronpa when the game launches. I think it says something like Danganronpa. But I don't know. If it's, then this is the key to the data center. I managed to unlock the data center. I guess all that running around paid off. I have to go tell everyone else. I immediately headed back to the garden. What do you mean, what am I talking about? Oh, we're talking about how this game's name is pronounced. So you're back. How'd it go? I found out which room the key goes to. It's the data center down on the 4th floor. Then we can get into the data center now.
See.
Interesting. But why did the now deceased have that key on them? Well, I suppose we'll have to go to the data center and find out. Yeah, I think you're right. Here we are. Looks like the door's still unlocked. Hey, so when you open that door, it's not going to be another huge kaboom like before, right? You're asking that question now? Danganronpa? I don't know. Don't worry, we have Makoto.
In other words...
It's in your hands, again, which means I trust you. That is an absolute lie. I'm being used. What happens if I talk to you? Ahem, I said I trust you. You now have an obligation to live up to that trust. Man, I hate Byakuya. I fucking hate Byakuya, but at least he's not such a hard ass anymore. Close my eyes, tried to clear my mind. With a silent prayer, I slowly opened the door. Nothing happened. After making sure I was still alive, I slowly opened my eyes. Oh, Jesus. In a word, the room was strange. I mean, all the rooms up till now were strange, but this room had a special kind of strangeness. It wasn't a surface fear like the rest of the school. Here, the fear was lurking beneath the surface. The room was filled with that kind of dread.
What?
Hey, that's... Hero extended a trembling hand and pointed. Look at all those monitors on the wall. Look what they're showing. Each monitor displayed a different section of the school. The dorms, the classrooms, every part of the school was covered. This is...
What?
It's the direct feed from every single surveillance camera. All the cameras in the school feed back into this room. They're displayed here on these monitors.
So that's it.
So the sole purpose of this room is to watch us. Also, Goober, are you coming over tomorrow? To watch us? No, not to watch us, Goober. Just, I'm reading. I have to read. And this room
It's
is
all clear now.
the Mastermind's private room, without a doubt. The Mastermind's room. I guess that makes sense. So the Mastermind was here, watching us. Then I think that settles it. Huh? The body in the garden. If they had the key to this room, it can only mean one thing. That was the body of Mukuro Ikusaba, and she was the Mastermind. The Mastermind is dead? Like, really dead? It would seem so. For serious? It's too bad they had to go and die before Master could kill them himself. The Mastermind is dead? Could that really be true? Does that mean it's all over? Because, I mean, that body. Whatever happened? They obviously didn't die a natural death. Oh, you saw Robbie today at work? So who was that? But, if the Mastermind is really dead, it means we can finally get out of this hellhole. We gotta hurry up and find the exit, come on. No, we have to check this area thoroughly first. Huh, but what about the exit? If the Mastermind truly is dead, we can leave whenever we decide to, but right now, we need to find out why the Mastermind set up this life or death game in the first place. And I'm bothered by the fact the Mastermind was obviously murdered. Murdered? You think so too, huh? Naturally. The state of the corpse makes it plain as day. There's absolutely no doubt. The Mastermind was murdered. Why's it gotta be that way? I mean, who could have done it?
Such
That's exactly what I said. We need to investigate the purpose and identity of the Mastermind.
I'm telling you!
Now, do you understand, you useless insect? You're banned from talking to Master ever again. The Mastermind's purpose, and why they were killed. This room may very well hold the answers to those questions. After all, the Mastermind must have spent who knows how much time in here. Okay then, let's begin our search. It's time to uncover the identity of the Mastermind. There's a really ridiculous number of monitors here. And the Mastermind's been using them all to spy on us. As long as I have this, huh? Look at Master go. It's like a feast for the eyes. How much is a monthly membership? Oh, Jesus. Okay, well, I can click this. Crisp chicken. Hey, what's up? Aren't you from Toki? Oh. No, I can't say I have ever farted in a cup before. They look like high-performance PCs, nothing like the ancient laptop Alter Ego was set up on. They're all on, but they seem to be locked. So what, we can't do anything? Just use your fighting spirit to force your way in? What century are you from? The Mastermind must have been using these to monitor the network and Alter Ego. You may well be right about that. But there's no point in thinking about that now. You're right. Why haven't I? Because I don't need to. I haven't ever needed to. I have no compelling reason to fart in a cup. There's nothing showing up on this one. Huh? Hey, look, next to the TV. Is that a TV antenna?
How about that?
It is. It's just like the one my grandma uses. It's totally one of those high-def antennas. Wait, so if we hook it up to the antenna... if we hook up the antenna, we could watch TV? Huh? Did someone say TV? Well, Saturday morning Hina's here. Are you talking about me? Anyway, if we can watch TV, let's do it. Come on.
Know?
Oh, you're all starved for info from the outside world, huh? Alright, let me work my magic. And you'll be quantum leaping your way into TV land before you know it. Seems like a weird question to ask someone. You're not living life if you haven't put on a cup of Toki. It's true. Turns into alcohol if you add water. Oh, please, Toki, you're so full of shit. That's like the fucking, that's like fucking, what is it? That Reddit post that says if you stick an egg up your ass, it'll hard boil. Or soft boil or something like that. I mean, I get the reference, but what's he talking about? So you think you can fix the TV just a little longer? What, you really want to watch TV that bad? Another Saturday morning kid here. Okay, well, what else is there? There's the door, and that's about it. This door's kind of creepy. It's got a picture of Monokuma on it. I mean, Toki, it's your party. You can, I guess, stuff eggs up your butthole if you want to. We could be inside. Rattle, rattle. No luck. The door's locked, huh? What if we use the key that opened this room? Let's give it a try just in case. Nope. Won't even fit the keyhole. Oh. Yeah. Well, don't worry about it. Everything's fine. The mastermind's not dead, right? Or no, the mastermind's dead, right? So this is gonna happen to us. Yeah, I guess you're right. Can't stop thinking about the door with Monokuma's picture on it. Well, worrying about it isn't gonna do me any good. Hina's right. The mastermind's gone, so there's nothing to be afraid of anymore.
You know?
Huh? Oh. What's wrong? Good news for you all. Saturday morning kitties out there. They got the TV working. Really? What? Who? Somebody did a thing. My bot will tell me eventually, I think. Until then, I'm not saying that. Thanks for the follow. Crispy Chicken's fake account. Now all you gotta do is switch it on and do it. Friggin' idiot mastermind. All you guys need to cut free from your regrets of the outside world. They were sitting here watching TV the whole time. They really thought they could get away with it? This is the feed coming from the surveillance camera monitoring this room, isn't it? That's weird.
Come on.
Hey, what are you doing? That's really weird, huh? You're weird. Weird in every way possible, and not just weird. Super weird. This TV isn't hooked up to anything but the antenna. So how is it showing the camera feed?
Well...
Did you try changing the channel? Oh, good idea. Let's give that a try. Hero went through each channel one by one. But on every channel, it was just us. It was a live feed of us standing there in the data center.
What the heck?
Was it broken or something?
Could it be?
No, there must be some kind of trick to it. Some kind of weird setup. A trick? What kind of trick?
Actually,
I'm not sure, but... Oh, I thought something weird just happened. Crispy, no. I'm not gonna. Huh?
Huh?
What? 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 Been a while, you bastards. Monokuma. How? You're supposed to be dead. Me dead? Don't be freaking stupid.
What?
You're acting kind of strange. Something seems different.
Of course.
Of course I'm different. Evolution is perfectly natural. After all, I've been hibernating for 2 years already. Not even. It's been like half a day at most. How are you alive again? Oh yeah, that's it. The look on your faces right now is sublime. That's what I wanted to see. The moment you went from hope to despair. Don't tell me you pretended to be dead for all for this moment. Why would a bear pretend to be dead? They're the ones who should pretend to be dead when you see a bear. I mean, that's totally laughable. It makes me laugh. I'm gonna laugh now.
Well now.
And that's that.
Shing!
Well, it's almost time to cut off your past, so full of hope, and begin the despair of the future ahead of you. I want you all to have way more fun in this killing game.
Huh?
You can't be serious. We have to keep going.
Let me out of here!
No, we're supposed to get out of here. Get out of here. Are you still so obsessed with getting out of here?
Unbelievable.
How do you not get it? There is no getting out of here. And besides,
Yep.
this life isn't all bad, you know? I mean, there's stuff you won't like about life no matter where you are. You gotta go put on your makeup, have fun. Yeah, okay. Are you serious? This place is the worst. It's the worst. Does that mean you're in despair?
Well now.
Whew, I'm poo from all that laughing. I guess I'll just get to the point now. A point?
Hey,
You guys really struck gold when you found that TV. Yes, indeed. That TV is an essential part of your school life here.
What?
I knew I was hiding a secret of some kind.
What the heck?
But I connected to the antenna. Why is it just showing the surveillance feed? Look at how attentive they are now. Well then, I'm gonna let you in on a blood-gushing secret and I'll tell you about it. That TV is absolutely, without a doubt, displaying the signal coming in on the antenna. But what does that mean?
What the
It's displaying the signal, but it's just us standing here.
Unbelievable.
Oh, you're so stupid. Don't you get it? Fine, I'll tell you.
Kills, chills, kills!
This killing game is being broadcast live across the entire world. It's the most popular thing on TV. What?
Extreme!
This killing game is being broadcast live to the entire world. It's the most popular thing on TV. It doesn't matter how many times he says it. I don't know what it's supposed to mean. I mean, even if I understood the words, I'm not sure I'd understand the deeper meaning. Broadcast live to the entire world? What kind of bad joke is this? It can't be. Have they taken over the airwaves somehow? That's the first time I've seen Byakuya in despair. The camera feed is being broadcast? No way, that's impossible. That kind of overconfidence is a major weakness in your crisis management system, you know that? All you need is one weird trick that I found, and it's hijacking the airwaves is easy mode. Are you being serious right now? Of course. I heard a kind of creaking. But that sound was coming from my own mind. Like a boat tossing in the ocean, my mind had begun to creak and groan. Everything has meaning, you know. All those hints I gave you, all the tantalizing tidbits about the school's mysteries. Even me luring you here right now. Why would I do any of that without a reason? It was all for my captive audience. To show them true despair like they'd never seen before. I became the director of a despair-based production. This is the ultimate reality show, the best in despair entertainment.
What are you saying?
You're lying. If this was on TV, the police and everyone else would be going crazy. There's no way they wouldn't have tried to come and rescue us.
Actually,
What if they already did?
yes,
Huh?
indeed.
But then again, it's not really any of their business, right? Sure, some people might yell at their TV to try and warn you, but who would actually come here and help? Don't you think that's possible? I don't really know personally though, so whatever.
This can't be.
But to take control of all the communications like that, you need an astronomical amount of resources. Yep. So, how could things have come this far? Well, that's a secret. There's something you all need to do first. Remember what?
Of course.
Yeah, duh. There's the little business of ding dong, ding dong.
A body has been discovered. After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin.
Huh? Class trial, do you mean?
It's the Monokuma file!
I'll leave the next Monokuma file right here. Everyone give it all you've got, okay?
Heart-pounding excitement!
Okay, things are gonna get pretty crazy from here on out. You're in for a heck of a ride.
I can't wait! I can't wait!
And then he was gone. Reality was incomprehensible. The truth hopelessly out of reach. All that we were left with was despair. We stood there for I don't know how long, frozen in place. I couldn't think. It took everything I had just to keep myself standing upright. I don't understand any of this. What's despair entertainment, and how is he still alive?
I'm sick of this.
I thought that finally we could get out of here. And plus, what did he say about a class trial?
Stop talking.
Well, that part's obvious. The class trial is the class trial. What it means is that, at this point, we have to figure out who the culprit is. Figure out who killed Kyoko. What?
The heck?
What are you talking about? I thought Mukuro Ikusaba was the one who died. The victim was female, right? Kyoko certainly fulfills the condition. And if Monokuma's still alive and active, that means the mastermind Mukuro Ikusaba isn't there. So naturally, that body can't belong to her. There's no other possibility. That body is Kyoko's? Kyoko has been murdered? No, it's not possible because I don't know anything about her yet. I don't even know who she really is. To have it end like this... I don't believe it. I refuse to believe it. Whether you believe it or not doesn't matter. The truth is the truth. If you refuse to believe, it's your responsibility to uncover the truth for yourself. Myself? Anyway, we better begin. But if we're gonna have a class trial, then that means the killer...
That's right.
Correct, it must be someone participating in our school life. Wait, so you're saying one of us killed Kyoko? Well, that's not precisely what I'm saying, no. But what you just said.
Stop talking.
I don't have time to explain now. There's a veritable mountain of issues I need to confirm. I'm going to begin my search. If you value your lives, you'll put everything you have into this. If that's how this game works, after all. Investigate. I better start checking out the Monokuma file. Due to the explosion, the victim's identity is unknown. They were, however, dead before the blast. The victim had been stabbed a single time with a knife, which went completely through the body. They had also been struck in the head with an object as thick as a metal pipe. The body was covered with other wounds, but these were at least several days old. So even the Monokuma file doesn't tell us who the victim actually was. The unidentified body, could it really be Kyoko, or... I have no choice. I have to investigate. I have to uncover the truth for myself. No matter what, I have to find out what happened, or we're all dead. I need to go back to the scene of crime. Back to the garden. Monokuma file number 5. Okay, time to get started. I need to check anywhere that may be important from one end to the other. I just need to do what I always do. These look like fragments of something. They're all burnt, so I can't really be sure, but I feel like I've seen something like this before. Like it before. But where? Wait, was it there? I have to double check that later. Fragments near the dead body. I don't know what that means. What up there? There's a knife laying on the ground. Is this? It must be the knife that was stuck in the body before it exploded. The force of explosion must have thrown it over here. The Monokuma file said the knife went all the way through the body, from front to back. Does that mean this knife is what caused the fatal wound? Either way, this knife looks really familiar. Wait, is this... That's it. It's the knife the person was holding. This is getting really weird. There are just too many strange coincidences. Whoever this person in the mask was that attacked me last night, they were holding that knife. And that same knife was used to stab that same masked attacker we found here. So maybe this masked person got stabbed because... when they attacked, I was in a kind of trance. Maybe I reacted by grabbing the knife, and maybe then I... And if this is really Kyoko, I mean Kyoko is the one that attacked me, but why the mask? I just don't know. I don't remember anything clearly from last night. No, it can't be. There's no way. The knife at the crime scene has been added to the truth bullets. If I check the body more thoroughly, then maybe I'll find out for sure if this is Kyoko or not. Huh? There's something weird about the body's fingernails. Oh, these are fake nails and they're really long. They seem like they get in the way of normal activity. Fake nails. There's also something on the back of her right hand. Is that a tattoo? It got burned, so I can't make out the whole thing, but it looks like a picture of a dog or something. I've never seen anything like it before. Tattoo on the right hand has been added to the truth bullet section. The lower half of the body didn't get wet at all. After the body blew up, the top half got set on fire, so I dumped a bucket of water on it, which explains why the bottom half isn't wet. There's nothing strange about that, right? The upper half of the body got set on fire in the explosion, so it's totally blackened. Also, the top half of the body is wet. That's because it got set on fire, and I threw water on it. Since I only threw water on the part that was on fire, the top half, the bottom half is still dry. In other words, there's nothing strange about the top half being wet. There isn't, right? Oh god. Exploded body analysis. The white jacket the victim was wearing got totally burnt. There's only a little piece left. Okay, according to this, Monokuma flower, huh? Is it true? Does it really eat paper plastic for people? Anyway, I don't think it's related to the case, so I think I'll just stay away. Just to be sure, I should take a look at the tool shed. This room is dusty and disorganized. In other words, a pretty stereotypical tool shed. Is this a tarp? Wait, was there a tarp here before? I should probably look into that. It could be related to the case. The top is wet and covered with mud and grime, but the underside is totally clean and completely dry. On the side, the tarp is wet and dirty. Something about that bothers me. Tarp has been added. That's the only thing here that concerns me. Yep. Chickens. I'm sure the chickens didn't die in the explosion. I remember there were some chickens in the coop. I count 4 chickens. Huh? 4?
Yo!
What's going on, Makoto? Oh, I'm glad you're here. Listen, do you remember how many chickens there were in here? Yeah, of course, there was precisely 5. Yeah, right? Huh? What's wrong? There's only 4 chickens here now. We're 1 short. Huh? It's so weird. I wonder when it disappeared. It was down here just before nighttime last night, and there was definitely 5 chickens then. What are we going to do? Going from 5 to 4 is going to have an impact on the structure of the world.
Conspiracy!
It's like a jigsaw puzzle. If even a single piece disappears, the entire world will remain unfinished. I did my best to ignore Hero and focus on the problem at hand. Why did one of the chickens disappear? Could it be related to the case? Chicken coop chickens. This thing, right? This is the panel that controls the sprinklers. They're set to turn on at 7:30 every morning. Monokuma said the time positively couldn't be changed. Huh? Hold on. The sprinklers turn on at 7:30 each morning, right? Then if the body was here before then, the sprinklers should have gotten it wet, which would mean the murder must have taken place. Sprinklers has been added to the truth bullet section. Let's talk to Hina. See if she has anything. You remember how the body looked, before it blew up? If I remember right. It was wearing some kind of mask and a big white coat. There was a knife sticking out of the stomach, and the area around it was stained with blood. Apparently the wound had stopped the bleeding, but the blood on the body was still wet. Yakuya said not to touch it to avoid getting all bloody. But for how much blood there was on the body, I didn't see any on the ground around it.
Okay.
Wow, thanks, that was a big help. Now that you've explained it, I totally remember how it looked. Well, having to talk about it like that helped me remember it a lot better too. So thank you too. Body before the explosion has been added. Toko. What does that body belong to? Whoever it is, I'm not gonna look. I don't want to faint anymore. Damn. I wanted to get the account of Genocider show. It's 11 o'clock right now, okay? And,
Serious?
well, I was just thinking about when we first found the body. When the body was found, huh? I should look back at what I did this morning to help me remember when that was. Monokuma's announcement woke me up at 7 o'clock as usual. Headed for the dining hall pretty soon. Once I got there, I met up with Hina. That was right around 7:30. Then I headed to the gym where everyone else was waiting. Next, Toko went to get the pickaxe, and that's when she found the body. What time was it then? Now then, Toko, what time is it? Well, when we left the gym, it was just before 9 o'clock, so it's probably 9 on the dot right now. That's right. It had to have been right around 9 o'clock.
You know?
Now that you mention it, I think you're right. So I think we can say for sure the body was found at 9 a.m. Okay, my job's done. That's a pretty small job. When the body was found, has been added to the truth bullet section. Byakuya, what do you got? Good timing, Makoto. I was just wanting to talk to you. Okay. What do you want to talk about?
In other words...
I'd like to hear your alibi. Alibi?
In other words...
Correct. I'd love to hear where you were after nighttime began last night. I was sick, so I was asleep all night. But why are you asking about that now? What's nighttime got to do with it?
Naturally.
Isn't it obvious? This murder took place after nighttime. How can you know for sure? Because just after nighttime began, I came to the garden. I was going around looking for everyone so I could tell them about Monokuma. Hiro's been spending most of his time in the garden the last few days, so I figured he'd be here. And I could confirm that when I arrived last night, there was nobody here.
In other words...
No body here. So the murder could have only taken place at some point during the nighttime after I left the garden. However, Toko, Hiro, Hina, and I were in the gym together the entire nighttime last night. What? Once I found Hiro in the garden, we immediately went to Toko and Hina's rooms to get them. At that point, we all went to the gym and began dismantling Monokuma. As a precaution, we made sure not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs. So in other words, all four of us have an airtight alibi. The only ones who don't have alibis are me and Kyoko.
That's right.
If the victim really is Kyoko, then I'll be the only one without an alibi. Also, when we went to get Hina and Toko, we stopped by your room as well. But you never came to the door, so where precisely were you? I'm telling the truth. I was in my room, but I was dead asleep. I had a fever, so that's hardly an alibi, I know. So what now? You seem to be quite the disadvantage here. I'm the only one without an alibi, but that's really bad, isn't it? Byakuya's account has been added to the truth bullet section. I think I've checked everything I need to in this area, but I'm not done yet. There's still areas I need to check. Specifically that fragment I found before. There's somewhere I need to go in order to confirm my suspicions. I still need to find out. I don't know where that is. I'm really confused. Was that also Kyoko who attacked me last night? I can find out more about her. Maybe I can answer that question. Was never the kind of person to talk that much. Maybe if I can get into her room, I'll be able to find out more. That's the key to her room.
It's all clear now.
I'll simply limit your options. I can't allow you to engage your further sister.
Just
okay,
give...
I don't have a choice. I have to see if it'll let me borrow the room key. And Byakuya, if you do come up with an alibi, I'd be happy to hear it later at the class trial. Oh no, it's not about that. You had the key to Kyoko's room, right? I was hoping I could borrow it. I'm afraid I can't take that risk. You're the prime suspect, after all. Of course, if I were to go with you, that would be a different story. Then will you go with me? Sorry, I have my own agenda to take care of. Find me again later, and we'll see. Depending on my mood, I may go with you, or I may not. Come back later, huh? Okay, in the meantime, I should look around somewhere else. Maybe I should check out that one area. Please be more specific. Map. I don't know where that one area... Oh my god. Apparently there's something going on at the gym, so I guess I'm gonna look there. Monokuma's laying dismantled on the floor, but I figured it wouldn't be here.
You know?
I just found something. What is that? It's...
Huh?
It's what? It's a bomb. There's one installed in every Monokuma robot, I'm sure. A bomb? And that bomb went missing. There's no doubt about it. The fragments I found in the garden. Fragments near the dead body have been updated in the truth bullet section of my handbook. Okay, I've checked out everything else I can think of. All that's left now is Kyoko's room. Just head back to the garden and ask Byakuya. Leave the gym. Actually, I think I can just teleport there now, can't I? Alright, Byakuya, you fuck. Come on, let's go. Think you can go see Byakuya? You wanted to check out Kyoko's room, right? Very well, let's go. Ha, wait for me. Byakuya walked off without a second glance, and I hurried after him on our way to the dorms. Fuck, dude. Well then, here we go. Byakuya took out the key, slid it into the keyhole, and then click. Looks like it's open. Looks like it, thanks. This is much more... Here's her bed. I don't see anything interesting here, at least not as far as the case is concerned. Is it just... there's something on the table. A woodblock decoration.
What?
What's that? What purpose does it serve? I think it's probably a key. The lockers at those really traditional public bathhouses use them for their locks. I wouldn't know. I've never gone to a public bathhouse. It doesn't really surprise me. It's hard to picture Byakuya doing something like that.
It's certainly
But if it is a key, I think I might want to know what it unlocks. Really, what? Unless I'm mistaken, I'm pretty sure I saw something in the dojo that's my go-to. The dojo. Here's the bathroom. She might have certain articles hanging out to dry. I better not look inside.
What? Come on.
Regardless, if you plan on poking around at random, you're doomed to no matter how much time you take. Surely you have something to concentrate, something to give us more direction here, more concrete. Oh, I know. Earlier, Kyoko gave me something. What's this?
True.
Consider a symbol of my determination. Don't open it yet. Only open it if something ever happens to me. I'm sure I have it here somewhere. Found it. What's in the envelope? Kyoko gave it to me. She says something ever happened, I should open it.
Interesting.
Well, something certainly has happened, so open it. Okay, I opened the envelope and look inside. Inside was a single piece of paper. Under the sheets. That's all that was in there. Yeah, looks like it. Under the sheets. What could it be? But could something be hidden under the bed sheets? Part of me didn't expect to find anything, but as I lifted up the sheets... What's this? I found a crumpled piece of paper. Class number 78. Student registry. Mukuro Ikusaba.
I see.
It appears to be Mukuro Ikusaba's profile. Yeah, looks like it. It's probably the only other thing... Or no, the other thing Kyoko stole when she snuck into the headmaster's room along with the key. God, you're so annoying. Fine, I'll tell you. It's a key and... That's it. This must be the blank that Monokuma was talking about. Kyoko said a death without meaning was unappealing. And this is what she left behind. I don't have time for your sentimental indulgences. Hurry up and finish your search. I made an effort to pull myself together and look down the profile sheet. Name Mukuro Ikusaba. Sex female. The ultimate soldier. Although small for her age, she was a military specialist trained in every weapon type imaginable. She showed interest in the military from childhood, and soon found herself completely absorbed in it. In elementary school, she won a survival game tournament and began writing for military magazines. Just before entering middle school, while she and her family were on vacation in Europe, she disappeared. The story of a young Japanese girl being kidnapped quickly took over Japanese media outlets. An intense international investigation turned up no information, and she was never found. However, she reappeared in Japan 3 years later, alone and completely unannounced. She revealed that she had joined a mercenary group known as Fenrir for those 3 years. She insisted that she hadn't been kidnapped, that she'd received battle training of her own volition. However, she never revealed why she decided to return home when she did. Mukuro's profile has been added to the truth bullet section of my handbook. The ultimate soldier, a mercenary group. This doesn't feel real. The world I grew up in, it's like a completely different dimension. It's like one's non-fiction and the other's sci-fi. There's no way to even compare the two. That's how different this is. That was how I saw things as just an ordinary person, but then...
I see.
I never imagined I would hear the name Fenrir in a place like this. You recognize it? The Fenrir Mercenary Corps is a collection of battle-crazed warmongers. But they do have their uses, and they always get the job done. That's worth remembering. This is all part of a world totally removed from the one I lived in. I have to say, I'm intrigued. Every rumor I've heard says that Fenrir has already...
Found it!
Whoa! I feel like our hero is becoming a bit player in this... Or no, a bit player and a bit player is becoming our hero. Ah, it's you.
What?
What have you got in your tiny little hand there? Uh-oh, you found her profile. So what if I did?
Hey,
Don't
come
freak out on me.
now.
I'm not gonna hold it against you or anything. And in case you were wondering, I don't hold it against Kyoko either, even though she stole and hid it. After all, there's no rule against stealing, is there? But who I can't forgive is Miss Ogami, who broke the rules and busted the headmaster's room. Maybe I'll drag her corpse out here and slice it up and devour it. Bears are omnivores, you know.
What?
Are rule violations really so unforgivable? You're quite adamant about those regulations of yours. Of course I am. A proper school life is built on the dedication to organization and order. Which is why even I, as the school headmaster, had to follow the regulations myself. Also, you're saying you have to follow your own rules as well?
Of course.
Absolutely. I can't have you complaining about how unfair it all is, can I? In fact, on the subject of fairness, would you like to know something interesting? It's about the one writing all the rules. They're actually one of the participants in the killing game. I don't think I ever actually told you how many participants there actually were, did I? I was thinking I should probably clarify that.
Hey,
When you all first got together in the main hallway, back when, there were 15 people there, right? I think that first meeting may have led to a little misunderstanding amongst you all. A misunderstanding, are you
In
saying?
other words-
That's right, there weren't actually 15 of you.
yes,
The
indeed.
total number of students actually taking part in this killing game was actually 16. 16 then.
Mukuro Ikusaba, the 16th student, lying hidden somewhere in this school. The one they call the ultimate despair. Watch out for her.
The 16th student, Mukuro Ikusaba. She's part of the school life. So the one making all the regulations is...
Why?
Why? Did you say something? Why are you telling us this? Oh, well, because, like I told you, this killing game is desperately popular. You wouldn't believe the ratings. And since we got so many viewers now, I wanted to make sure everyone was on the same page. I don't want to wake up with a hurricane of complaints and hate mail, you know.
Yes, indeed.
Makes sense.
Well, now.
Okay, that's all you get for now. Oh, actually, I do have some revenge to get, so I have an extra bonus for you. Revenge? I want to get back at you for that sneaky Miss Kirigiri. So I'm going to share a little secret with you. Seriously?
Hey,
You know how she wears those stupid gloves day in and day out all the time? Well, don't tell anyone I told you, but she wears them to cover up a bunch of hideous scars that she doesn't want anyone to see. What? Okay, now that's all you get. Monokuma's account has been added to the Truth Bullet section of my handbook. Kyoko wears those gloves to cover up a bunch of scars? Wait, so on the back of her hand. That tattoo. Wait, but no, Monokuma specifically stated they were scars, right? And that's why Kyoko wears those gloves, to hide them. Which means... those fake nails of the corpse. Are you thinking about Kyoko again, huh?
What?
Forget about her. What matters right now is uncovering Monokuma's trap. This
Such
trap?
ignorance.
God must have really hated you to make you so dull. Don't you remember what Monokuma just told us? He said there were 16 students, right? Which means Mukuro was a student here. Obviously, Monokuma was trying to tell us that Mukuro is the one creating the rules of the game. But why would he tell us that, and why now? He said he wanted to make things clear, so there wouldn't be any complaints later. But the mere fact that he said that proves that Mukuro Ikusaba is connected to the case. That's why Monokuma revealed the existence of a 16th student. He needs to make our investigation fair. Mukuro is related to
It's
the case.
certainly
Perhaps she's the
possible.
one who killed Kyoko. What? That would explain everything. Or no, that would explain why we would have to have a class trial, wouldn't it? If she's a student and she killed someone, that would make her part of the school killing game. Mukuro is the killer. She killed Kyoko? Anyone should be able to come to that conclusion, don't you think? In fact, that's exactly what I thought when the investigation first began. But based on what Monokuma just told us, I've changed my mind.
It's all clear now.
Mukuro Ikusaba isn't the culprit. What makes you say that? We thought Mukuro, the ultimate despair, was the mastermind's true identity. But if that's true, Monokuma's behavior makes no sense. Where would the mastermind go out of their way to reveal themselves to us? That's a good
So,
point.
in other words,
Mukuro is giving us information that would raise questions about her. Would be bold, to say the least. It makes more sense, then, to assume that Mukuro isn't the culprit. They want us to suspect Mukuro and come to the wrong conclusion. That's what makes sense to me. The way you say it definitely does seem possible, but if that's really true, if Mukuro isn't the killer, then who is? Well, then I believe our work here is finished. Let's move on. I'm sure there's other places in need of investigation. I should find out if the key and the dojo are really connected.
Let's go.
Well, are you coming? Oh, is he just going to take me to the dojo? Oh, he is. Thank you. Fast transport. There's a wooden locker here. They use woodblock keys just like those super traditional public bathhouses. It looks like the key we found in Kyoko's room really does go to one of these lockers.
I see.
Makoto, do you see the locker farthest to the right?
Very strange.
It's the only one that doesn't have a key in it at the moment. Do you understand what that means, right? I should probably use the key we found on the locker,
That's
right? Well, just try it. Okay. I took out the wood block, inserted it into the locker's middle lock, and click. Yaker eagerly accepted the key and it opened. There are arrows in here. It looks like 10 arrows in total. They look like they're made of titanium, which means they're quite strong despite how thin they are. Of course, without a bow, they're nothing but strong little sticks. Strong sticks. Titanium arrows has been added to the truth bullet section of my handbook. Oh, there's something else inside the locker. It's a watered up ball of duct tape. I wonder what this was used for. Is that a blood stain? If it is, then that must surely be related to the case. The duct tape is related to the case somehow? But how could it possibly be involved? Bloody duct tape has been added to the truth bullet section. I think that's all the locker has to offer for now. Is something wrong?
Strange.
It's very odd, don't you think? The locker was hiding items that were clearly related to the case. But how did the locker wind up in the victim's room?
Why?
Or perhaps... Yakuya? Forget it. Come on, we need to continue to the next location. Huh? What? No, next location. There's still something we need to look into. We need to do some more research on Fenrir. You mean the mercenary group that Mukuro was part of? But how are we supposed to find out about that? Isn't it obvious? Where in the school would you go to do research on something? Research? Are you talking about the archive? That's right, the archive still has all kinds of info the general public doesn't have access to. Why am I just fucking tagging along with him? I don't like him. We only have so much time before the trial begins. Let's hurry. I thought this got emptied out. I don't know why. I believe there was a file related to Fenrir somewhere over here. Seems to know the archive like the back of his hand. It went straight to the shelf on the back. Here we go. Quickly return with a file in hand. So, do I just talk to him? Come on, asshole.
I see.
Take a look at this. I have no idea what it says. What language is this? How did you make it all the way to high school without knowing a single word of French? I'm pretty sure most high schoolers can't speak French. Well, whatever. I'll read it for you, but I expect you to repay your debt 100 times over. 100 times isn't that extreme? Fenrir is an elite fighting group unit based out of the Middle East. Unlike military contractors, they're a fierce group of soldiers who engage in direct combat. They claim that a single member is equivalent to an entire company of regular soldiers. Just like Fenrir, the world of Ragnarok, just like Fenrir, the wolf of Ragnarok, their mere presence is enough to strike fear into any enemy. They've been involved in countless military battles and operations, most of which are highly classified. However, some time ago, they completely ceased all activity. At present, their continued existence cannot be confirmed. There are unconfirmed There are unconfirmed reports that the key members of the group were all neutralized. Rumors indicate they were killed to keep them from revealing the many state secrets they'd acquired. Some, however, believe there was a mounting internal tension within the group, and they simply imploded.
What?
What is it? This all sounds like some kind of alternative reality. Well, it isn't. This is our reality, the only reality. These people are part of our world. Their battlefields aren't much different from our lives here. An unpredictable, unimaginable world. That's what makes it all so exciting. Exciting isn't the word that I would use. So, did anything jump out at you? This may be your last opportunity to learn about Fenrir, now that you mention it. The report said something about where the name Fenrir comes from, right? That's right. It said Fenrir is the wolf of Ragnarok. Speaking of which, would you like to know something interesting related to that? To show that they are a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body. What? I got a 10-2 of Fenrir. Could that mean? Mukuro Ikusaba's profile has been updated in the truth bullet section of my handbook. Ooh, 1 second. I need to stretch. Ooh.
Time is utterly silent, and yet it constantly assaults us organisms, the Earth, natural phenomena. It damages us little by little until the end. You should really think about that. Anyway, it's time to begin the class trial. So, please meet up in the usual spot. See you later.
The voice acting for this is really top-notch when they do have voice lines. The time has come. All we can do now is try to uncover the truth during the class trial. It would seem that way. Let's go. Oh, Byakuya and Makoto showed up together. Where the heck have you two been? You just disappeared without a word. We were investigating, of course. How could you not figure that out by this point? Makoto's ranked high enough for you guys to go off together, just the two of you? What are you, jealous?
Hey.
Or are you making up some kind of creepy fantasy for yourself?
What?
Stop talking and brace yourselves. He'll be here any second. Any second. He could show up any time. When I imagine what was about to happen, I merely tensed to prepare myself, but... We stood there for 5 full minutes waiting for something weird to happen, and 5 minutes became 10.
Why?
What's going on here? Why hasn't Monokuma showed up yet? Maybe he died again? What should we do? Should we keep waiting here, or what? Jesus! Did I scare
Come
you?
on.
I demand an explanation. Why did you waste my time and make me wait like that? What? I made you wait? You've got it all backwards. You're the one making me wait.
In other words,
I'm waiting for everyone to arrive. We can't start till everyone's here now, can we? Monkey, what are you talking about? Everyone is here. We've been waiting for you. Sorry, but you're wrong. I've been waiting for 10 minutes now, so it's okay if I punish the one making us all wait, right? If we all agree it's a violation, I'll arrange a punishment right now. If it's me you're waiting for, I'm here. When we heard that voice, we all spun around to take a look. I'm here, and no rules have been broken. Kyoko. Kyoko, you're still alive? No, it's a ghost. Stop talking. If you want to fight, do it in a class trial. You need to save some fun for later, right?
What?
But is it okay that there's no particular penalty for being late?
Is that right?
I made it here just fine. What school regulation did I violate? Am I wrong? You're so selfish, so spoiled. You're right. There's no penalty officially, but I bet you'll be sorry later. No, make sure you're gonna be sorry later. Anyways, hustle your butts onto the elevator. I'll be one step ahead of you. When Monokuma was gone, we all rushed up to Kyoko. Kyoko, you really didn't die.
Indeed.
Of course I didn't die. Thank God, I'm glad you're okay. SCJ-643, how are you doing? Perhaps, but that's not necessarily a good thing for us, huh? Because right now we gotta deal with the ghost. I told you to stop talking. Come on, let's just go. Whatever we need to discuss, we can do it during the trial. But yeah, how are you doing today, SCJ? Without ever looking directly at Kyoko, Byakuya stepped into the elevator. Master, wait for me. Good call. Who knows what might happen to us if we take too long. I'll be happy when this trial is over. One after another, everyone piled into the elevator, but I couldn't help myself. I had to talk to Kyoko before the trial started. Okay. Listen, before we get started, I have to ask you, where have you been this whole time? You used that key of yours to go somewhere, didn't you?
Correct.
So, I wanted to investigate the second floor of the dorms. The second
That's
floor.
right.
There aren't any monitors or camera there, so I was able to avoid Monokuma completely. Of course, I also missed his announcement because of that. I had no idea a body had been discovered. Then what did you find out? Just now I finished my search and came back down, just in time to hear the class trial announcement. I took some time to go over the crime scene first. I can't go to a trial completely uniformed, can I? So that's why you were late.
However,
I'm sorry I kept you all waiting. But if you were on the second floor of the dorms, that's where the key you found goes to? Actually, to be precise,
in
not
other
quite.
words,
I used Monokuma's secret tool, which can open any lock in the school. What? Kyoko's account has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook.
Just a second.
Hey, what are you two doing? Hurry up before we get in trouble with Monokuma.
Makoto.
We can go over all the details when we get through the trial, okay, Makoto? Right now, I just want to focus on surviving our current situation.
It would seem...
Because this is probably the single most crucial moment so far for me. For her? That's a strange way to put it. The class trial is important for everyone, right? So why would she say it's a crucial moment for her?
Goodbye.
Well, that's all. Seemingly unconcerned, Kyoko made her way to the elevator. I'm just overthinking what she said, right? Being the last one left, I stepped onto the elevator. And the door slid shut. This time the clunking was loud enough to hurt my ears, and the dread began to consume me once again. I can't imagine never getting used to the mental pressure that comes with preparing for an execution. That dusky darkness, nobody said a word. We stood there silent and still. After an immeasurable period of time, the doors opened without warning. A dazzling light penetrated the very depths of my eyes. But it wasn't the illuminating light of hope. It was the blinding light of despair. Jesus, this thing changes every time, and it's...
Can't wait!
Oh god, this time the colors are awful. Time for pointless jokes and jabs at past.
Thrills, chills, kills!
Let's get on with the show. So the curtain opened for the fifth time. Yep, deadly judgment, deception, betrayal, riddle, defense, faith, deadly class trial. Ooh, do I have any new skills? Cool and composed. Ooh. Saves my aim a little. Effective during the non-stop debate in Hangman's Gambit. Costs 2 SP. What other ones do I have? Increases the speed of memorizing a statement. Effective during the non-stop debate. The focus gauge decreases more slowly during the concentration and fever time. Okay, I'm keeping that one. Melodious. Increases damage to the opponent when a statement is destroyed. Effective during bullet time and battle. Okay. Increases bullet capacity. Effective during the bullet time battle. Cost 4. What other one do I have? Lost in Thought. Increases the time limit for each phrase. Okay. And then the last one is, what is it? Saves my aim a little. Effective during non-stop debate in Hangman's Gambit. Nah, I'm okay. Trial, all rise.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
Hearing him say blackened sounds really cheesy.
Okay, well, I'll leave the rest up to you.
Well then, let's discuss the specifics of the victim. First, we need to clarify who exactly the unidentified victim is.
It's Kyoko. There's no other explanation.
But Kyoko's standing right there.
No, that's a ghost.
But she has legs and stuff.
Well, that's just... She's like the latest evolution in ghost technology.
Hero's a little special, isn't he?
There's a limit to how much ridiculousness I can tolerate.
Okay. So I just have to prove that the corpse isn't Kyoko, right? Then let's compare Kyoko's traits to the traits of the dead body.
Her traits?
I got it!
Piercing glare.
I'm talking about her gloves. They'll get...
In that case, I think it would be helpful if someone explained why she...
And would you happen to know the answer?
In fact, Monokuma told me. Apparently you have scars on your hands you don't want anyone to see.
Oh, you know, now that I think about it, the corpse wasn't wearing any gloves, right?
They probably just got burnt up in the explosion. I'm not convinced. The ghost is just trying to fool us all.
There's no way that corpse was Kyoko, but if I can't prove why, we're going to be stuck here and the case won't move forward. So we don't have any choice but to... Really? I have to argue that she's alive? She's right here. She's literally right here.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion?
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko.
This entire discussion is idiotic.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead
Oh,
body
shit.
wasn't wearing gloves.
Oh shit.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion?
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
No, that's wrong. No, there's no way the corpse was wearing gloves. Whoever it was, they were wearing fake nails, remember? I imagine trying to wear gloves over nails like that would have been a pretty big pain. Besides, Kyoko wears gloves to hide her hands, right? It'd be pretty weird for someone who's self-conscious about their hands to wear fake nails. Don't you think?
Jeez, man, you don't know women, huh?
If anyone doesn't know women, it's you.
Well, Kyoko, any thought?
These gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure they don't interfere with my daily life. If I wore fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly.
Then that's that. The dead body doesn't belong to Kyoko.
Which should have been obvious since she's standing right here.
Okay, this is the only time I'm gonna agree with the RPO.
Okay, so then, who's the real victim? First, we need to figure that out.
That's the first thing I said. You're the one who's been dragging us around in circles.
Before anything, we have to identify the victim. Everything starts from here.
If Kyoko really is still alive, then who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out. I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition. And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file. Well, if we can't identify the body...
Then there's nothing else we can do, right?
Oh shit, I should have
Kyoko
read.
really...
Then who died? There's gotta be some... I don't think so. The face was... And there wasn't any description. Well, if we...
Okay.
Then there's
let's
nothing
go
else we
through
can
it.
do, right?
The one thing that can tell us was on the victim's own body. Okay.
If Kyoko really is still alive,
Then who died?
There's gotta be some... I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition. And there wasn't any description in the... Well, if we can't identify the body...
Then there's nothing else we can do, right?
I think I gotta do it. Okay. Hold on.
If Kyoko
One
really... Then
more.
who
Boop,
died?
boop,
There's gotta
boop,
be
boop.
some... I don't think so.
The face was scorched beyond recognition.
Nope, I'm an idiot.
Shoot! If Kyoko really... Then who died?
Who died?
I don't think so. And there wasn't any description. Well, if we can't identify the body...
No, that's wrong. There was one clue left behind that we can use to identify the body.
What? For real? If you're lying, you'll die a cruel and unusual death.
cruel and unusual death. This I gotta see.
She's just being stupid. Ignore them, Makoto. Tell us what you're talking about.
The key to figuring out who it was is the tattoo on the back of her hand.
Oh, yeah. The design's pretty strange, huh? Is this... Her master must have made her get it. To be like, you're my bitch.
Seriously? They really did something that humiliating?
No, that's not it. The identity of the victim is hidden within that tattoo.
Oh, really?
I got it! The Fenrir Mercenary Corps. That's the name of the military group Mukuro Ikusaba belonged to.
Okay, so...
To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body.
Fenrir?
Come on.
Now I understand.
I'm just waiting for the next
The
tutorial.
representation of Fenrir is a wolf.
Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok. It's from Norse mythology. A huge, world-ending wolf beast. He's the child of the trickster god Loki, and a female giant.
Man, after all this time, we finally got a glimpse of the literary all-star.
A wolf tattoo. Then that means...
Exactly. The body we found had a tattoo of a wolf, which means that person must have once belonged to Fenrir. So it must have been Mukuro.
What?
Hold on. Isn't she the one that was behind this whole thing?
You sound surprised, but you're absolutely right. Yes, indeed. The trial this time is to solve the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
What? Are you saying the mastermind is dead? And now we have to have a cool-ass trial?
No. It means we were wrong in thinking that Mukuro was the mastermind at all.
But I mean, being the ultimate despair seems like a pretty mastermindy title to me.
Maybe we shouldn't have been thinking of her as the ultimate despair in the first place. After all, looking at her profile, I didn't see anything that would fit such a description. All it said was that she was the ultimate soldier. If I remember correctly, that other information came from Kyoko. That's what you told Makoto, right?
So that means Kyoko got it wrong?
Then who was she? Who was Mukuro Ikusaba? She's been gone this whole time? And when she finally turns up, she gets killed. Usually when there's a scene where an important character dies, it has a lot more detail.
So you're saying she wasn't an important character, which would mean she was the same as us. Just another participant.
Then who's the real mastermind?
It must have been the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster after all.
No, the headmaster has nothing to do with it.
But how can we trust that? We already know your information about Mukuro was wrong.
My information was not wrong.
Okay. We're in the middle of a trial right now. Figuring out who killed Mukuro is first and foremost. Please limit all future prattle, chatter, and chit-chat as much as possible.
Fine. Uncovering the identity of the mastermind will have to wait. But remember this, no matter what happens, we will find out who you really are. I stake my family name on it.
I have officially decided to completely ignore all such attempts at provocation. Now then, just so nobody's confused, let me state this one more time for the record. The reason we're having a class trial is because a murder among the students has taken place. Hammer that point straight into your big ol' brains!
What you're saying is that both the victim and the culprit are part of the student body?
Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
Wait, no! There's a chance that there's some mystery 17th person who's been hiding all along!
Nope! There are only 16 students in total that have been taking part in these events.
Seriously? Then one of us killed Mukuro?
Who did it? Who's the killer this time?
Get a hold of yourself. We've already narrowed down the list of possible suspects.
Huh?
I'm sure you realize who I'm talking about, right, Makoto? Who the evidence points to?
I got it! You've narrowed it down to Kyoko and me, right?
Why do you say that?
Allow me to explain. Just after nighttime last night, I went to the garden. So I can confirm that at that point, there was no dead body there. So, the murder must have taken place after I left the garden. However, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I were in the gym the entire time.
The gym?
That's right. The four of us were there trying to dismantle Monokuma. The whole time, we were very careful not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs. All of which is to say, the four of us all have alibis. The only ones without alibis
Are me and Makoto. That's why you're able to narrow down the list of suspects.
exactly so.
I have something.
Are you thinking of raising an objection?
Well, before that, I just want to try and get a better idea of what time the murder took place. Doing that might reveal some kind of clue.
Whatever you want. Somebody go ahead and help him out.
Me and Byakuya can both confirm that the body wasn't in the garden at, well, it was after nighttime for sure. I'd say it must have been around 10 o'clock. So the murder must have happened after 10 p.m.
Then I guess we can say the time frame for the murder was between then and when we found the body? Oh, but what time did we find the body?
The one who saw the body first was Toko, right? And she went to go get the pickaxe.
I got it! The body must have been discovered at 9 a.m., since that's when Toko went to get the pickaxe.
I don't read.
He's right. It had to be
I don't want to
around
read
then.
if I don't have to, considering I've read those ones before. Just because it gets killer in my throat after a while.
So we can be totally sure the murder happened sometime between 10 at night and 9 in the morning.
For me, I was already asleep before nighttime hit, so I don't have an alibi after 10 o'clock. But I'm sure I met up with everyone else before 9 this morning.
We ran into each other in the dining hall, right? That was around... Oh yeah! Right around 7:30. I remember checking right before I went in, so I'm totally sure about it.
Which means from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m., you don't have an alibi.
Murder happened between 10 and 9 a.m., and I don't have an alibi from 10 to 7:30. Okay, that looks like the game's begun. I can't provide an alibi for that period, and I just have to prove the murder didn't happen during the time I didn't have an alibi. To do that, I have to make it clear when the body ended up in the garden.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
That's more than enough time to commit murder, I should think. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time.
Something that happened in the garden, same time every morning. Okay.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 to 7:30.
That's more than enough time to commit. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time. We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning. Yep, and
Yeah, from 10 to 7:30.
That's more than enough time to commit murder, I should think. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be...
Okay.
We've established a time. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock and 9 o'clock.
Yep.
And Makoto doesn't...
Yeah, from to 7:30.
That's more than enough time to commit. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be... We've established a time. It took place somewhere between and 9 o'clock. Yep. And Makoto...
Yeah, from 10 to 7:30.
Alright, that's not it.
Shoot!
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
That's more
So
than
what?
enough time.
I
So
gotta do
Makoto, if you
the
have
first
any
one?
objections, now would be...
It's got to be the
We've
first
established a time. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock...
one. Oh,
No, that's wrong!
well, okay.
Actually, the murder couldn't have happened anywhere near 10 o'clock. It had to have taken place way later.
And what makes you say that?
Because of the sprinklers in the garden. The sprinklers are set to go off right at 7:30 every morning, right? So if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, then it should have been completely soaked.
Oh, hold on. I remember this part perfectly. The body was wet. Dripping wet, in fact.
Sorry, Toko, but you're wrong.
I'm wrong? How? Are you saying only the mouth down south was wet? How dare you spew such indecent words!
No, I'm saying that the body was wet, but not because of the sprinklers.
What do you mean by denying the sprinkler? Are you trying to deny my entire existence?
Man, you're totally wacko.
If you really think it wasn't the sprinkler, you'd better... I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything! Hold on! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything! Hold on! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything! Hold on! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! How can you say it wasn't the...
This should prove it. Just remember what the body was like after the explosion, and you'll see why it wasn't the sprinklers. The top half of the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry. If the sprinklers got the body wet, shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
So they only got the top wet? The bottom was completely dry? What a brutal maniac!
I'm so sick of her.
Let's just move on. The reason only the top half was wet was because... while the body was still on fire, I doused it with water. But only the part on fire, the top half.
Oh, then I guess the sprinklers really didn't do it.
So if the sprinklers didn't get the body wet, then the murder must have taken place sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
Which means she must have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9.
But Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning, right?
So there's no way Makoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi after all. Good for you.
In which case, the only one left without an alibi is Kyoko.
Kyoko's the only one without an alibi, which would mean Mukuro's killer is. No, I refuse to believe it. Kyoko murdered someone.
I'd just like to say one thing. If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever, which is why I can't let that happen.
So are you saying you're not the culprit?
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us.
A trap?
We're this far into the game, and now you decide to blame me? Stop wasting time! Stop wasting energy! You really think your little trick is gonna work?
Shut up, you!
You got it, boss! Shutting up now!
Anyway, Kyoko, you actually did have a reason to kill her.
Huh? She did?
She thought Mukuro was the ultimate despair. In other words, the mastermind behind everything. So she killed her to try and put a stop to all this. But you made one catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the mastermind at all. And as a result, we were forced into another trial. Something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting.
So, that was her motive?
If she had a motive and no alibi, well then, I think it's pretty clear Kyoko's gotta be the culprit.
I'm not the only one without an alibi. Makoto's explanation is still insufficient.
Wow. I thought we were friends.
Huh?
The sprinklers didn't get the body wet, But that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did.
What?
Because you see, there is a way the body could have avoided getting wet.
Interesting. I'm listening.
All it would take is covering the body with a certain something to keep it from getting wet.
Certain something.
I got it! You're talking about the tarp, aren't you?
You catch on quick. You're right. All you'd have to do is cover the body with the tarp, and that'd take care of the water. In fact, that's exactly what the killer did. The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that. Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water. The side that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean. This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked.
But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
Most likely so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place. In other words, to create an excuse exactly like the one Makoto just gave us.
Kyoko, you're not my friend anymore. Why would Kyoko say that? Who? What? Who followed? Miss Rainbow Sprinkles, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. How are you doing today? If you feel like talking, feel free. Oh god, I really do have to fix that. One moment. Where is... Hang on, I'm gonna fix that really fast. Is there no way to turn that down? You know what? I'll take care of it another time. But yeah, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. I'll fix it as soon as I can. I'll fix it over break. If I take a break. I feel like I'm getting close to the end. No, I can't think about it right now. That tarp. It was usually what Kyoko said. The tarp must have touched the body, right? The body?
Wait. Something's not right.
And what might that be?
I can't worry about Kyoko's motivations. If I don't do something, everyone's gonna think I'm the killer. I have to refute what Kyoko said. Body before the explosion. Exploded body analysis. Fragments near the dead body.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
No, that's wrong.
There we go.
Actually, one side being clean is pretty strange if you think about it. Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right? Yakuya said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they'd used it.
If they had, they would have washed both sides. Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
Oh, yeah, true.
More than that, what if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage?
Huh? The blood
What
was a
if,
camouflage.
after the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim?
You mean someone else's blood? Where would they get something like that?
I know! They could have grabbed some of the blood packs from the nurse's office. That's what Hifumi did, right? When he pretended to be dead?
No, that's not what happened this time. The killer got the blood from right there in the garden.
Which must mean...
Shoot!
Okay, well, maybe I'm just dumb. I really don't know. I'm gonna die. Well, death, here I come. Allow it to wash over me.
I got it! Could it have been chicken blood?
What?
Yep, well. Hey,
When
Goober smarter
checked
than
the
I
chicken
am.
coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens. But after the murder, there were only 4.
So, you're saying someone killed a chicken and then covered the body with its blood? Man, that's messed up.
Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
I wonder if the killer had to get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking around. Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory.
Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense. You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right? But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body. But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it. The ground was completely clean.
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
They covered it beforehand?
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
I think so. Wait, no. The head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
Then that settles it.
Sorry, I'm having a tough...
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off, but the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp. Then, later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body. The coat they'd already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred. They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
But to pull all that off, wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Huh?
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body. They'd be done in no time.
Maybe. But still.
Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
Oh, no. I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till later.
Then he had plenty of time to spare, wouldn't you say?
That's not...
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
I must admit,
Kyoko, you're
Kyoko's
being a
reasoning
bitch right
is
now. The suspicion falls back on me again. But why? Why is Kyoko trying to entrap me? I don't understand. Disguised dead body has been added to the... What?
Well then, it looks like we're back to square one. Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyoko.
Okay, wait, this is actually really pissing me off. Wait, from... How do I... Select... Okay, this is how I turn it down. Let's, I think that's... Okay, well now it's too tiny. Let's try, let's try this shit. I'll take it, man. I'm not picky. Makoto's alibi is not... Okay, well, I just realized the irony of saying I'm not picky after literally stopping my game so I could go change it.
For serious, man? Which one of them did it? Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin. 50-50 odds.
Oh!
See? Pretty good idea, right?
No, not that. I just remembered something super serious.
Well, don't just stand there. Out with it.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
The one we found stuck in the body before it exploded, right? According to the Monokuma file, the knife went all the way through, from front to back. So, what about it?
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife somewhere before. That's what I thought when I first saw it. I just remembered.
Oh, she's
the
been setting
knife
up to frame
we
me,
gave to
you
Makoto?
bitch.
You don't seem surprised. You must have noticed earlier.
Yeah,
Then why did you hide that fact?
it's not that I hid it. It's just...
I couldn't be sure what actually happened last night. I thought maybe I really did kill her.
Suspicious! Very suspicious indeed. The knife we found stuck in the body came from Makoto. Now I'm totally convinced he did it. 12,000% convinced.
Considering everything up till now, I should be able to make it clear. I prove I didn't murder anyone. I'm not a killer. Disguised dead body, exploded body analysis. Fragments near the dead body.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did.
Just because I had the... That automatically make...
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, so there's no question. You took that knife of yours and killed her with it.
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
We've already established that the coat was put on the body after the tarp was removed, which means the knife was thrust through the coat.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that... That seals it. Just because I had the... That automatic... Well...
Getting stabbed is what killed her, right?
No, that's wrong. Wait, hold on. The stab wound isn't what killed Mukuro. That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her!
No, don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp, and then put the bloody coat on it, right? In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
Okay, fine. So what?
So, when we discovered the body, the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body. Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that point, obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up.
I got it! The Monokuma file clearly states that there was only one stab wound.
Oh yeah, it sure did. Totally forgot about that.
Then the knife...
Was just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer. They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her. Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing. The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her. It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward. They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
Oh, hey, I have a question. It kinda goes back to the beginning, but what's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like that?
If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
I'll tell you. I bet some unknown quantum particle caused an atomic level spontaneous combustion!
I might be dumb, but even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her or we won't make any headway on this.
Oh, wait, here it is.
I got it! After the explosion, we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right? That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
Huh? You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
That's only natural, because of course, we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma. It's part of a bomb.
Oh! Then then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb.
Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute. They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto. And the only one who would benefit from that is the only other possible suspect. You, Kyoko.
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. We still don't know what actually killed the victim.
That's true. It's definitely bugging me. What really killed her?
Fine. I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate. It won't change the facts of the case regardless.
We need to determine what ultimately killed the victim. I need to concentrate. Monokuma File 5.
Then shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined.
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. I guess.
Well,
Yeah, she was already...
And it wasn't because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh yeah. That's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
The knife was a cover-up, and all those other wounds in her body weren't fresh. Which, oh
Then
shit,
shall we
I want to
continue the
go
debate?
into that.
The victim's fatal injury has...
The explosion didn't kill
No,
her
I'm
for
trying
sure.
to... Stop this.
I guess.
Well, yeah.
she was already...
And it wasn't because of the knife, right? And
Stop
then
this.
There's only one other thing.
Oh yeah. That's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
Okay, one more time. Knife wasn't a cover-up, all those other wounds weren't fresh. Which only leaves...
Then shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to...
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. I guess.
Well, yeah. She was already told me.
And it wasn't because of the knife. And then there's only one other thing.
Oh yeah. That's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that,
I'm really... Goober, help.
the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body. Then shall we continue? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined.
The explosion didn't kill her for sure.
Well,
Yeah.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right? And then there's...
Oh yeah. That's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of
Well,
her head.
I'm just dumb.
Shoot!
There's only one other thing, it says, but I can't look in my thing. I don't know what the Monokuma file details.
Then shall we continue the debate? The victim's
Fatal injury has yet to be determined.
Oh, come on, you whore.
Shoot!
Okay, well, sweet embrace of death. We're
Then
running
shall we
towards you
continue the debate?
at an incredible
The
pace.
victim's fatal injury has yet to be...
The explosion didn't kill her for sure.
well, yeah.
And it wasn't then...
Oh yeah. That's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had
Okay,
suffered
I'm legitimately
countless wounds
stuck.
across her entire body.
I don't like this stupid part. Ugh. The knife was a cover-up. All the other wounds on her body weren't fresh. The explosion did not kill her. Which only leaves...
Then shall we continue the victim's fatal...
The explosion didn't kill...
Well, yeah.
And it wasn't then...
Oh yeah. That's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire...
Yep.
Then shall we continue the victim's...
Fatal injury has yet to be...
Oh my god. Holy shit. So many game mechanics to remember. So little time.
Mukuro died because of the blow to the back of the head she suffered.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body? They didn't have anything to do with it?
The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
Oh yeah, good point. If they were old, I guess they don't really matter.
Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
But then, what was the murder weapon?
The Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt object, about as thick as a metal pipe.
Oh, I bet it was the pickaxe!
How is that even possible? If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her with the handle.
No way! The balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of power. I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want.
No thanks. I bet you just hit me with the metal end and call it an accident.
I'd love to scoop out that nasty brain if you...
Seriously?
We want to figure out what killed her, right? It just so happens we already know.
We already know? I knew we could count on you, Master.
So what was it?
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto.
I got it!
Oh my god.
Mukuro was hit in the back of the head with something, and that's what killed her. And that something was the titanium arrow we found in the locker in the dojo.
An arrow? That's what the culprit attacked Mukuro with?
Indeed. There's no doubt about it.
Are you sure? That sounds kind of weird.
Hey! How dare you backtalk, Master! You have no right!
I'm not back-talking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
The voice acting for this, I will always say it, is very good. And that is why I don't talk when they're talking. I don't blame Hina for doubting it, because there's one more thing about that weapon. One more secret. Does it involve the duct tape? Blade duct tape would block key titanium arrows.
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right?
Okay.
I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, because in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
Talking back to Master!
Whoopsie.
You have no right!
Oh shit, I probably should have read that. Okay. You know what? I'm just gonna fast forward. See what he has to say. Because I've got one heart and I cannot waste it. If it was just the titanium arrow, it wouldn't be nearly thick enough, which is why they used
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo. I have no doubt.
Are you sure?
You don't sound
Well, it said the weapon must have been. It seems like an arrow would just be too.
well,
No, that's wrong.
for once it was actually straightforward.
You're right. Just the one arrow would have been too weak. That's why the killer used another weapon.
Another weapon?
Inside the dojo locker, we also found a balled up wad of duct tape. The killer probably used this duct tape to bind multiple arrows together. Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe. And that's exactly what the killer did.
It's similar to Aesop's fable about the bundle of sticks. One stick is weak, but put them together, and they become strong. It's meant to teach cooperation.
Damn, that's harsh.
How is it harsh? Are you even listening?
Anyway, that explains the murder weapon. As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in the dojo locker, it was you, Kyoko.
I've never been to the dojo.
Oh no, you absolutely have.
How can you say that with such confidence?
Because we have proof, of course. Don't we, Makoto? What's the matter? Surely you don't intend to protect a murderer. You know what will happen if you do, don't you? If you cover for the culprit, there's only one thing that can lead to the death of us all. Remember?
Of course I remember.
Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that proves Kyoko went to the dojo.
I got it! The one thing that proves Kyoko was in the dojo is right here. The key to the dojo locker.
And how does that prove anything?
Because I found it in your room.
It was in my room?
Don't bother trying to play dumb. That key is just the final piece of the puzzle. Your non-existent alibi, your clear motive, your attempts to frame Makoto for the crime. This all proves that you are the true culprit. You can't explain this away, so just give up.
Hold on a second.
Not this again. You really are dead set on defending her, aren't you?
No, it's not that I want to defend her. It's just there's one more thing I need to ask her. Kyoko, I want you to tell me something. Last night, you were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there? That's what I need to know.
I was just protecting you.
What?
She was protecting me? Then does that mean she knew I was being attacked? And she came to my rescue. Could that be when... What do you mean that, Kyoko? She killed
That's
someone
enough.
for me?
The time for idle chatter is over. A verdict is close at hand.
Wait, I'm warning you. Don't make this mistake. I'm not the killer.
I knew you were stubborn, but this is just getting ridiculous.
Really? But you should know better than anyone I didn't do it. Can you tell me I'm wrong?
I should know.
What? Byakuya should know better than anyone. What does that mean? Oh boy. Make my argument. When the body was found.
Those words you just spoke, what do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the door and then left the locker key in my own room. But could I really have done that?
Those words you just...
Exactly. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya!
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit.
Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory. You said I hid the evidence of my... and then left the locker key in my own room. But could I really have done that?
Those words you just spoke.
Exactly. I'm not the... You should understand.
Byakuya!
Master would never...
There's proof that you... Is that what you're...
You stated a theory. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker and then left the locker key in my own room. Correct? But could I really have done that?
Those words you just...
Exactly. I'm not the... You should understand.
Byakuya,
Master would never hide something...
There's proof
That you aren't the culprit.
No, that's wrong.
Ah, Jesus.
If I'm right, Kyoko wouldn't have been able to get into her room.
Oh, Goober, are you still there?
Huh? Why not?
Because she had given her room key to Byakuya.
I see. So that's what you meant. And if I had the key to your room...
Then obviously I had no way of getting in. Without my room key, I couldn't have possibly put the locker key in there myself.
So, I'm just taking a small break here to say this to Goober. What is it? My dad caved in and decided we're going to get kittens, and we're gonna go find them on Saturday, or rather, we're going to a breeder on Saturday, and they're really super adorable, and you must see them. Like, give me 1 second. That's them. And they're super cute.
Am I wrong?
It would appear not.
Then you're finally starting to understand.
No, that's not actually true. There's a clear contradiction in what Kyoko just told us in an obvious lie, but this just isn't like her. To try to save her was such a desperate lie. Does she really feel that threatened? Because she's the killer? Or was it something else? Was there some deeper hidden meaning in what Kyoko said earlier? If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of the school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen. I just realized I read that. The mastermind is trying to trap Kyoko, but what if that's not really true? What can I do? What should I do? What should I... The mastermind's trapped. The victim was Mukuro, and the Kyoko killed her. No! You are not taking the kittens. That being said, we're trying to figure out a name for that first one, the whitish one. So if you got a suggestion, and an actual suggestion, not something weird. The victim was Mukuro, and Kyoko killed her. What does Kyoko really know? What am I supposed to do? Kyoko's lie. I'm the only one who knows it's a lie. I'm the only one who can expose it. But who can I trust? What am I supposed to do? The kittens are like $500 a piece, Goober. Please. If you want to come with us on Saturday to see if she'll adopt you a kitten for like $300, you can. If you spend all your time trying to avoid danger, you'll never move forward. We know the danger, but if that risk means solving the mystery, we have no choice. Am I wrong? What do I do? I have to decide right here and right now whether or not to expose Kyoko's lie. Pursue the lie. Let it go. I've made my decision. I have to believe in Kyoko. There's no way she would kill someone. Must be some sort of secret here, something that has had to do with the mastermind.
Have you decided to accept her assertion as fact? I see. So you still refuse to accept it. I suppose we have to admit that Kyoko didn't put the locker key in her room. That it was someone else.
But who else?
I mean, Byakuya had a room key, right?
You! What are you trying to imply?
But of course, I have an alibi. From nighttime on, I was with you guys the entire time. I couldn't possibly have killed anyone, or put the key in Kyoko's room.
Well, someone had to put the key in.
There's only one other possibility I can think of. Someone could have had the key on them, then once they arrived at the scene, pretended to find it there.
What? It had to be Makoto, right?
I could, but your mom won't let you have any more pets.
I don't see any other option.
Yeah, they have like 2 more kittens aside from that one.
Wait a second. You've got it all wrong. Let's think about it one more time. There's gotta be a...
Huh? A hidden side?
First of all, there's something off about this entire trial. You all see it, don't you? Mukuro, who we didn't even know existed, suddenly shows up dead. And then we're thrown into a trial. And Kyoko even said, it's a trap the mastermind set for us. So that's why... This has to be...
Okay, time's up!
Huh?
Time's up! Class trial's all over! Everyone can stop talking now!
What?
What do you mean time's up? There's no time's up. Since when have we...
It's because you were late, so we had to push back the start time. So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you!
Voting time?
Okay. Coins.
Now, who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one?
Oh, hang on. I actually want to do something really quick. I meant to whisper that. Ich. But what if I want to... No. Oh, there we go. Yep. Well, apparently my permissions don't work on me. Shit. Oh, whatever.
Hey, hold on! What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Well, I'm dead. See ya. Lol, bye. Won't miss ya. Bye, fuckers. gallows, to the gallows. You think I'm the killer? Sorry, man. Sorry. It's all your fault. Everyone, you're wrong. You got it wrong. I didn't do it.
Yes, indeed.
Good job.
Yep.
I know that's not true. None of that makes any sense. This whole trial doesn't make any sense. It makes perfect sense. It's the same as always. It's just like all the other class trials, and I'm gonna end it the same way.
Chills, kills!
It's time for the positive. It's time for your heart-pounding, positively thrilling pleasure. Wait, why do I? Kyoko.
I don't expect you to forgive me. I know this is all my fault.
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
Well, bye, fuckers. You will not be missed. I'm out. See ya. Well, I guess there are worse ways to go. Am I tied? Because I don't look tied. Maybe it's just this angle. Boy, that is a big crusher, ain't it? Well, bye. After school lesson, please. I think I'm tied. From the way I'm holding my arms, it looks like it. What? Was that alter ego? Huh? What's this? What's going on? Hey, was that? Yeah, it had to be. This alter ego. Alter ego. Is this some stupid virus from that stupid guy? He must have planted it when he invaded my network. Damn it all to hell, I don't believe this.
It would seem...
It seems you finally made a miscalculation. No, you miscalculated from the very beginning. What was that? I say you shouldn't have underestimated us. Why are you talking like you already won? I barely felt a thing. It was a pinch and itch. The stupid virus is gone now. Got it, and so is Makoto. Maybe I didn't get to smash him flat, but you're never gonna see him again. To waste away in a garbage-strewn pit. In a way, that's even better special punishment. But still not enough. I'm not satisfied. We're gonna bring despair to the rest of you. Bring despair to the entire world. Is he gone? Hey Kyoko, what's the meaning of all this? Just what the hell is going on here?
Calm down.
It's okay. We're not the ones being trapped this time. Huh?
In other words...
Now it's the mastermind that's ensnared.
What did you say?
What are you talking about?
So...
You'll understand soon enough. Very soon. The massive high school towers over all the other buildings in this bustling urban area. It's like the school stands at the center of the entire world. What? Hope's Peak Academy. It brings to... Okay, I'm not gonna read this. This is totally... Yeah, this is totally just the intro. Was me? Wait. What? Where am I? I woke up with my head resting on top of a hard wooden desk. My body felt heavy. I was zonked off in the middle. But what was I doing asleep here just now? It wasn't any classroom I've been in before. What the heck is going on? Yeah. Oh. Finally, I could finally feel my mind and body start to come back together again, and then I was awake. Or was this just another dream? A dream inside a hopeless nightmare? No, this isn't a dream. I could tell because the stench invading my nostrils was too powerful for a dream. An awful smell. I was in a vast dark cavern, with the barest hint of light seeping in. Trash was piled high across the whole area. This must be some kind of underground garbage pit. Heck of a situation to find myself in. That's just the beginning of my problems. Was I going to be stuck in here till I wasted away and died? No, I can't let that happen. And after what my good friend went through to save me, I remembered all too well what happened. Alter Ego saved me. He used up the last little bit of his strength to do it. So I can't give up now. For myself and for my friend. And with that, my pursuit of survival began. First, I was looking for a way out of here. There's a rocket in a tank. I better not think too much about what I'm seeing down here. Is that an airplane? How'd something like that wind up at the school garbage pit? Rattle, rattle, rock. Rattle, rattle. No matter how many times I pushed or pulled or kicked at it, it didn't budge. Getting out of here ain't gonna be easy. Well, if I'm not getting out of here anytime soon. I decided to look around for some food. There's plenty of food here, but it's all rotten. That was pointless, too. Next I searched for some water. How can I be sure which liquids I can drink and which ones are all around a bad idea? Again, pointless. I feel like I'm blocked in on all sides. But that's not enough reason to give up because I'm still alive, and as long as I'm alive, I'm never gonna give up. After making that proud declaration, the next thing I decided to do was go to sleep. My sleep was deep and uninterrupted. That was my only way to preserve what little strength I had left, after not being able to eat or drink. I can't be sure, but I think at least a full day had to have passed, and all I did was sleep and sleep. It was like I was waiting for some kind of sign to come falling out of the sky. However, what fell from the sky wasn't a sign, not exactly. Good chunk. What the? Strange sound pierced my silent isolation, jarring me awake. As I watched the pile of garbage jostled and formed an odd shape. Did something fall down over there? Something fell up from above. What could it have been? Did a giant piece of trash just fall down here? Stretch out my hand towards whatever it was that tumbled down here with me.
Just a second.
A giant piece of trash? Rude. My waifu is trash. Before she even emerged from the pile of garbage, I knew who it was. Oh my god.
It smells awful.
This place smells
Indeed.
awful. Kyoko, you look like you're doing better than I expected. What are you doing here? Isn't it obvious? I'm here to help you. I'm glad to hear that, Kyoko. You've got a bit of garbage in your hair. She gave her head a quick, sharp shake to get rid of the trash and then faced me again. First, I have something for you. Go ahead and eat. We can talk once you're finished. Thank you. I snatched the bread and water she was holding out for me. Within seconds, it was in my mouth and making its way towards my stomach. I really hit the spot. Now I've got all the energy I need to keep going. 2 pieces of bread and a bottle of water? Please. Of course not. After all, the fact that I can keep going forward is all about all I'm good at. Well, that's not such a bad thing to be good at. My waifu is trash. But Kyoko, why did you come to rescue me? Okay, Kyoko's not trash anymore. She didn't ditch me. She was just being weird. To pay a debt, or no, to atone. During the trial, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything. So you knew that I knew. But even though I knew that you knew that I knew that you knew, I did nothing to help you. I abandoned you. Don't say that. You didn't abandon me. No, that's exactly what I did. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. You were trying to save me, and I couldn't bring myself to do the same for you. But listen, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but... Okay, nasal stuff. That was weird. The reason I had to survive and not a cause, okay? Tell me what that shit was. Why did you have to survive?
It's true.
I'll tell you everything. The reason I have to survive
In other words,
is so that I can do what I came to the school to do. What? I made up my mind to come to Hopespeak Academy for one very important reason. You have some reason coming from Hopespeak? That's right, at least I did once. Once. Until recently I've forgotten what it was. You forgot, but that's... I had no memory of what my purpose was. No memory, that's impossible. Amnesia? The Dark Descent? That's really true? You lost your memory? Do you remember Makoto? Do you remember the first thing that happened to each of us as soon as we arrived in the school? The first thing. You're talking about when we fainted, right? I fainted when I woke up. I was trapped here.
That's right.
I fainted too. And when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself and
It would
disconnect.
seem...
Thinking back on it now, at that point my memory was gone. At that time I'd forgotten. I couldn't remember why I come to the school, and I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was. But what would make you forget all that? Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance. It seems much too convenient. Are you saying you think you lost your memory because... I don't think I'm positive it was the work of the mastermind. They stole my memory. But why would they want to do that? There's only one reason I can come up with. Because of my purpose and my ability. Somehow they would interfere with the mastermind's plans. So the mastermind just stole them from you?
However...
And it could also mean somehow my memories may be connected to the mystery of this school and the mastermind. Which is why I have to get them back. That's why I've been investigating things by myself the whole time. But if what you say is true, why didn't you ask the rest of us to help you?
Why is that?
If I did that, and we all worked as one, the mastermind would have noticed right away. Plus, there's always the chance that the mastermind is actually one of us.
Correct.
Well, don't make too big of a deal out of it. It's just a possibility. But since it is a possibility, we can't ignore it, right? The mastermind, one of us. If she believed that, then of course she couldn't trust anyone around her. In which case it only makes sense that she would only look into her missing memory by herself.
However...
That being said, there was a limit to what I could do by myself, which is why I asked you to help me. Well, why me? Because among everyone, you were least likely to be the mastermind. It was just intuition, but I see. Your intuition was right, though. There's no way an ordinary kid like me could have been the mastermind.
I understand. I should understand everything. My goal isn't to get out of here. It's to stay here.
Yeah. It's just like the dream I had before, but why did that just happen? Are you okay? Oh yeah, it's nothing. It is nothing, right?
Hey.
Even now, I still trust you, you know? It's just I'm not used to relying on others. I know I never asked you for help the right way, so I understand if you're not convinced. Honestly, I was convinced. I think that's just your personality. You said you had a reason for doing all that investigating on your own. So how'd that turn out? Were you able to remember anything?
So...
I think there's still a lot I don't remember, but at the very least, I was able to finally recall my purpose and my ability. You mentioned your ability. My ability, what everyone should have known me for. I'm the ultimate detective. The ultimate detective? The reason I came to Hope Street Academy, there was someone I had to find here in the school. I had to find someone here as well. It was the headmaster of Hope's Peak. Headmaster. Why did you want to find the headmaster? Because he's my father. What?
In other words...
I was separated from him as a child. As it turns out, he became the headmasters of Hope's Peak. Kyoko's dad is Hope's Peak's headmaster? And that means an alter ego told us how he thought the headmaster was involved. I'll find a way. No matter what it takes, I will find the headmaster.
No matter what?
No matter the cost. Kyoko, what's going on? My memory hadn't come back at that point. Well, when he said that, it felt strange. It makes perfect sense now, of course, since my whole purpose for coming here was to find him. That makes sense. But listen, Makoto. I want to make this perfectly clear so there's no misunderstandings. I said the headmaster wasn't the mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. I only said what I felt based on what I'd seen when I'd snuck into the headmaster's room. And what did you see in there? The room had been ransacked, the shelves were a mess, the desk drawers were dumped on the floor. The only conclusion is that someone who didn't know where anything was had been in there. You mean the mastermind, right?
It's true.
That was my assumption, yes. And to confirm my suspicion, I decided to investigate the second floor of the dorms using the key that I'd found. But why there? Because I also found this in the headmaster's room. Some kind of map. A layout in the entirety of Hope's Peak Academy. Also, I need a small break. I need to go get a drink of water. It's not good to just drink alcohol straight up. So, I will be back in just a moment. I'm back. I got a bottle of water and some pizza because pizza is supposed to be good for drinking. I can't remember why. It's like the bread absorbs the alcohol or something like that. The grease balances out. Some bullshit. I'm dealing with stomach content. But what do I know, man? But, pizza. Not just any pizza either. Cold pizza. 1,000 times better. It's a layout of the entirety of Hope's Peak. I found it in the headmaster's room along with Mukuro's profile and that key. Map showed that the second floor was home to a number of rooms meant for faculty. Some of the staff must have had to stay overnight from time to time. I figured the headmaster would have some kind of private room there. I assumed that if that were true, that room would likely hold more clues, so I went to check. And that's what I finally remembered. I remember my purpose was to find the owner of that room. So you went there to see if... Okay, I need a tissue. I can't pretend that I don't need a tissue. I need a tissue. Okay, now I'm back. You're back with cookies? I'm back with pizza and cough drops and water and my headphones being fucking weird. Went there to see if they had a private room there. Noticed that the second floor of the dorms didn't have any cameras allowed there. So what was it like, that part of the school, I mean? Hard to describe. All I can say is, the moment I saw it, I realized whatever's going on in the school is more horrific than we ever imagined. What do you mean?
So...
I can't explain it. You need to see it for yourself. I'm sure you'll get your chance soon enough. Sounds like it must be important. And really ominous.
However...
You'll find the mashed potatoes. It has to do with Mukuro Kasaba, doesn't it? Just to be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her. And I know it wasn't you either. I know you're right, but that just means everyone but you and me had an alibi, so who did kill her?
Anyway...
What can I say for sure is that the mastermind is directly involved. To begin with, the point of the class trial of Mukuro Kasaba was to get me killed. Get you killed. So like he disappeared, and in retaliation they wanted to draw me out and eliminate me. That was the point of the class trial. It was. The mastermind knew what that they couldn't interfere directly. Even because of the school regulations? Exactly. With minimal restrictions, you are free to explore Hope's Peak Academy at your discretion.
In other words...
The mastermind is adamant about following these rules, and with that rule in place, they couldn't step in. Since they couldn't kill me themselves, they tried to use the class trial to do it. That was a weird taste. The mastermind couldn't step in because of the rules. It makes it sound like the mastermind themselves are somehow bound by the rules. There's one other thing I'd like to point out about the murder of Mukuro Ikasaba. That is, there was a point where Mukuro may not have come to have become the victim. It could have been you. I could have been the victim? You know what I'm talking about, right? Do you mean... During the night?
I
can hear them, you know? The footsteps of the god of death. What? I can hear the god of death as he moves. The ability naturally draws me into cases just like this, which is exactly what happened with you. I was in the dorms and I had some sense of dread, and I looked down the stairwell and saw a white shadow cross the corridor. I gave chase right away. As I followed it, I saw the shadow go into your room.
Correct.
I ran into your room and saw what was happening. I intervened immediately, of course.
However...
That wasn't the end of things, of course. I stopped them, but that led to... Whoever the mass assailant was, they ended up dead.
Correct.
And after the murder was disguised, and the dojo key wound up in my room. It all has to be the work of the mastermind, in an attempt to use the class trial to eliminate me. I love pizza, man. Pizza's so good. So all this would mean that whoever killed Mukuro is the mastermind, right?
Indeed.
We're not having conclusive evidence, but that's what I think. But that's really bad if it's true. It means the mastermind could kill whoever they want if they feel like it. Wait, but doesn't that create another contradiction? The mastermind wanted to use the class trial to try to kill you. Because they couldn't interfere, right?
Correct.
You're right, that is a contradiction. It's not just Mukuro. They needed the class trial to kill me, but they seem really ready to kill you in your room. Everything they did is a contradiction. So what does it all mean?
In other words...
It means, and the mastermind is the one who's been ordered, huh?
Makoto.
Just a little more. A little more and I should be able to figure out the mastermind's identity. The identity of the other ultimate despair. The other ultimate despair? There's no doubt that Mukuro was the ultimate despair. And that she's dead. Yeah, I need to speak clearly. But I don't think the ultimate despair is just one person. It's not.
Indeed.
If you think about it, the ultimate despair seems to indicate whoever caused that event.
That's right.
But you're talking about what happened a year ago, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. The tragedy. Whoever's responsible for that. They're the ultimate despair? That despicable group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair.
Indeed.
And make no mistake, they're the root of all evil that has forced us to go through this. That is the ultimate despair, and that is our real enemy. Chapter 5, end. Back to 6. I'm not gonna lie, I thought that was a dildo for a second, and I was like, oh my god. Okay, I got the Dream Island rocket. I swear to god, that looked like a dildo. The ultimate despair. A group of people who caused the tragedy a year ago. Those same people put together this killing game and began broadcasting it around the world. The most desperately awful group of people ever. Goober's right. Anything's a dildo if you're brave enough. Houston, we have liftoff. That is the mastermind's true identity. Our enemy has finally been revealed. Right now...
Anyway...
Right now we have to get out of this horrible place. Figuring out the rest of the story can come after. Yeah, you're right. Locked, but we have to find a way to open this door. I'm just using one hand to, like, move the camera and press and click. Yoko, do you still have that one thing? Monokuma's secret tool that got you from the headmaster?
Indeed.
Of course I do. It's an absolutely vital part of ensnaring the mastermind. I would never part with it. It can open any door in the school,
That's right.
That's right. We should be able to use it on that door, right? Hey, Kyoko, we can use that key of yours to open this door, right?
It's true.
Let's find out. Kyoko took out the key with Monokuma's design on it and slid it into the keyhole. And then, click. Yes, it opened.
Indeed.
And now we can get out of here. Let's go. Sounds good. We quickly We opened the damn door and made our escape from the fucking garbage pit. Finally, we're finally free. But there wasn't even time to take a breath of relief, because the real fight had just begun. Ultimate pain, ultimate suffering, ultimate despair, ultimate execution, and ultimate death. I think this is the last chapter. You see, ultimate death made me go, After leaving the goddamn garbage pit, we found ourselves in a tunnel extending straight up like a fucking chimney. There was a metal ladder leading up into a tunnel. We started climbing the ladder, intent on reaching the surface. Oh. And that blacked out view. Why though? Not why is it blacked out, just why though. The ladder was impossibly long. I couldn't even see where it... Okay, it's like... I don't know. Coming this far in the game just to see fan service kinda bothers me. Climbing into a darkness. Passage was so dark and cramped I couldn't even set my own... Oh. I was very confused by that sentence for a second. You couldn't see the feet in the rungs. No idea we were down so far. Don't lose your footing. If you slip, I won't be able to catch you. Yeah, I'll be careful. But now that you said that, I'm getting nervous. Maybe talking will help me keep my mind off it. So Kyoko, there's something I wanted to ask you. You said you were the ultimate detective, right? So how long have you been doing detective work? How long? Ever since I can remember. I come from a long... voice crack. Why? I come from a long line of detectives. Detective work is in my blood. There was a time when being a detective was considered a sacred duty. My family's always seen it that way. Then your family famous? Quite the opposite, actually. Even among actual detectives, many people haven't heard of us. Huh, but how come? It's like your family tradition, right? So, because we take pride in it. Pride? A detective is neither light nor shadow. We represent neither justice nor evil. That's how we can uncover the absolute truth. We stand neutral in all things, and to do with that, we have to stand separate from the rest of society. Which is why we made a conscious effort to conceal our existence. A conscious effort? It's true. It's a kind of old-fashioned, and I can't say it's entirely rational. But it's our family's creed, and we do what we must to protect it. Because, like I said, it's our source of pride. Pride. So that explains. Before I came here, when I was looking up info about the school online, I never saw anything about her. Because she hid herself on purpose to protect the pride of her family.
However...
And yet... I gave up some of that pride. Huh? In order to enter Homespeak, I had to reveal myself to the school. I didn't know it was something a true Kirigiri detective would never do. But the reason you... Everything that's going wrong right now with my nasal. Fucking horseshit. The reason you would go so far to enter Homespeak was because that's how much you wanted to reconnect with your dad, right? There's no shame in that.
What?
Reconnect? I had absolutely no desire to reconnect with my father. Huh? But you'd be reuniting after all those years, right? You would have so much to talk about. There's nothing I want to talk to my father about. There's something I want to say to him, though. What? No matter what it takes, I have to find him and tell him face to face. What is it? I want to sever all ties with him. Sever? The last time I saw him, I was still very young, so I don't remember myself, but apparently he was extremely intelligent. He was in line to become the next head of the Kirigiri family. He was talented, he had a promising future, but he had no interest in detective work. So he cut himself off from the family. Not long after that, my mother died, and he simply ran away. He went to my grandfather, and they had a huge argument. And as young as I was, he left me behind. I'm sure there was a reason for that. I'm sure your dad wanted to take you with him. If that's true, then I need to thank him. Thank him for leaving me. Because unlike him, I take pride in the work I do. I take pride in my family name. So every last part of me is happy he didn't take me with him. If I had gone with him, I never would have had the chance to become a detective. I was above Kyoko on the ladder, so I wasn't able to see her expression, so I couldn't tell. I couldn't see how she looked when she said that, what she might have been feeling. All I could tell was that, compared to her usual self, she was more talkative and more emotional. I don't blame him, you know. He had his own life to live. That's what anybody in my position might say, right? But it's not true. But there's one thing that I can never forgive, really.
So...
the way everyone else looked at me. I was never sad about being left behind, like I said. I think it was a good thing. But when the rest of the family looked at me, they saw something different. They only saw me as the little girl that was abandoned by her father. That's how they see me even to this day. His shadow has been following me my entire life, and I'm sick of it. I need him out of my life. I need to step out of his shadow. That's why I have to find him and tell him we're no longer family. In order to settle this past. In order to remove him from my life forever. I have no doubt he forgot about me years ago. But your family, to just cut ties with him like that.
Wrong.
Our only connection is through blood, nothing more. You're connected by heart and soul? No.
Hey.
Is blood really strong enough to call someone family? Only connected by blood, not heart or soul. I can relate to that. Because, like, not just me, but, like, one of my friends is adopted, too. And I can definitely say that I consider the mother and father that raised me more of a mother or father than the ones that had me. The ones with blood ties. Blood is... this may sound weird. Blood is skin deep, but the soul is far deeper. The connections you form are more meaningful than the ones that are made by blood. I was so shocked to hear something like that, I didn't know how to respond, so instead, I said nothing. Just kept climbing, complete silence. And after I don't know how long, we finally reached the top. Looks like this is it. On the other side of this door, Hope's Peak is waiting for us. We're back.
That's right.
Remember the hatch on the ground near the trash room? Fairly certain this bird will come out. I unlocked it earlier, so it should open without much trouble. Well, here goes nothing. Reach my right hand up, pushed against the hatch. Hatch opened with ease, and so... looks like we're back. I can't believe how long that ladder was. I'm exhausted. I can't exactly say we're safe and sound, but at least we're out there. And now we're back at Hope's Peak. Kyoko, thank you. I never would have gotten out of there without you. No thanks necessary. I'm just returning the favor. So now what do we do? I'm glad I didn't die, of course. But if the mastermind finds out, I'm worried about you too. You help me so much.
Listen.
You're worried? Yes, of course.
So then...
well, let's just get a concrete answer,
in other words...
let's ask Monokuma if there's a problem with you escaping. Wait, that's...
however...
if we try to hide, it's only a matter of time till we're found out. It's not like we can run away. As she said that, she pointed at the nearby surveillance camera. So you saying, rather than stressing out over getting caught, we should just give up? Don't worry. What you think is going to happen isn't.
Because
the mastermind is the one that's ensnared. The mastermind is ensnared. You said something like that before. What does it mean?
So...
the mastermind stood exposed during the investigation into Monokuma's death. There was a moment where the mastermind let their guard down. There was. If we could talk to Monokuma, we could confirm it. It would be better for us if we go to him directly before he tracks us down. That should help with our negotiations. We're still super uneasy about that. But we don't have a choice, do we? Monokuma should be in the gym. Let's go. mean pizza. Like, this pizza is so good, I don't want to put it down. Oh, shit. Let's go harass the Monokuma machine. What's up, bitch? Okay, so if I put in like 20 coins, yeah. I thought I got another one just now. Oh god, it's one of those dolls. Flutter's good. Is that a fucking pen? Oh, oh.
Well now.
Back from the dead, asshole. Kyoko, I don't mind so much.
I don't believe it!
No, Nezero, it was a dildo, please. But Makoto's supposed to be dead. What's he doing here? That's exactly how I thought he'd react. Are we really gonna be okay? You're supposed to be punished. Did Kyoko help you? So what if I did? What will you do?
Shing!
The guilty party is exposed during a class trial. They'll only be executed. It's unfortunate, but that is the rule. So now I gotta punish you again, and this time I won't leave anything to chance. Kyoko,
Right.
do whatever you feel you have to do.
However,
Well, before you do, we say one thing. If you execute Makoto, that means you lose. Not that that matters to you, right? Huh? I lose?
Hey!
You explain yourself. What do you mean by that?
because
Well, you said at the latest class trial yourself, right? I was getting in your way, so you wanted to an
in
excuse
other
to kill me.
words,
I was supposed to be chosen as the Blackened and then executed, right? Hey, what are you talking about?
however,
And when Makoto chose to overlook my lie, your plan came crashing down. The results of the trial weren't at all what you were expecting, because you never imagined that in that position, one person would protect another like that. And in response to that unexpected development, you reacted by proclaiming Makoto to be the Blackened, and you tried to execute him. You made the choice out of desperation, no more than that. You must have realized that Makoto, who refused to be manipulated, was a threat to you as well.
However...
But there was another unexpected development waiting for you. An entity that would throw a wrench, so to speak, in your precious execution machinery. Alter ego. You never imagined the possibility of a being that could come to our aid even after you killed
Am I wrong?
it. Here's the absolute truth. Makoto didn't kill Mukuro. You did.
Listen to me.
So executing Makoto for it would surely be a violation of your rules, which I know you love so much. If the Blackened is exposed, they alone will be executed. That's what you told us, right? And that means I lose. You talk a big game. You're saying the Blackened is me and not Makoto?
Well?
And you can prove it, right? No, I can't. Don't just say it like this. What is this, a comedy routine? Don't make such a bold claim without a shred of evidence.
That doesn't matter.
I don't have any right now, but with a little more time, I guarantee I'll find some. Because no matter how deeply you try to bury it, there is only ever one absolute truth. And now you're trying to talk like some kind of famous detective type?
Because...
If Makoto really was the killer, he never would have come to you willingly like this. He would have feared for his life, feared for another execution. He would have tried to hide. He would have been gripped by the despair you love to inspire. But here we are confronting you with nothing but hope in our hearts.
What the heck?
And that's supposed to be enough to convince me in the absence of evidence?
Indeed.
It's not you I'm trying to convince.
Hey.
If you were to execute Makoto right now, everyone out there watching this would be extremely displeased. Huh?
Indeed.
Imagine what everyone out there would think if you killed Makoto. They would assume you killed him because what we said is exactly right. Despair can never kill hope.
Hey.
Of course, you could say we're making this all up. I mean, you're welcome to prove us wrong. No, you have no choice but to prove it. Because if you kill Makoto without proving your own innocence, you'll be accepting your own defeat. If you want to earn our despair,
that's what we have to do.
I suggest you take my advice. So what's this advice of yours? Do Makuro's trial over again. Only this time, you follow the school regulations to ensure
it's
fair
time
trial.
for one last showdown. One final battle between hope and despair. Hey.
Well, that would make for a proper climax, wouldn't you say? A fair trial. One last showdown, in other words. Ow! It would be our chance to expose the true identity of Mukuro's killer of the mastermind themselves. But what reason would the mastermind have to accept the challenge? They'll probably just execute me without another word.
Barrett!
Very interesting. Barry.
What's wrong?
Oh, I was getting bored, so I decided to change things up a little. Time for bear jokes. Oh, fuck. Now, what you've suggested might be plausible. It would certainly make for one honey of a climax.
In other words...
Does that mean you accept?
You guys!
If we do things your way, that'll be enough to convince you and the viewers, right? And will cause you unbearable despair, right? I'm pre-bared to agree with your terms. Will your hope went out, or will my despair? Oh, fuck. Claim victory.
I can barely
Let's have one final
contain
grisly showdown, he agreed. And we still have a shot at this. But this is the long-awaited climax, right? Just guessing the killer is barely fitting end. So for this final face-off, you'll have to unearth all the mysteries that have been buried here. A mystery? That's right, every last mystery that's pawing around the school. If you can do that,
I can barely
then
contain
that'll be enough
myself!
to qualify as victory for you.
It's true.
That's what we've been trying to do all along. Okay, well good, let's bear it all. If you can claw your way to the truth of Mukuro's death and solve the mysteries of the school, then you win. And if you can't do all that, well, I'll face execution, right? I can barely contain my excitement. When you learn the whole truth, what kind of despair will you show me? Or as excited as you are,
Listen to me.
When we've uncovered every last truth, how will the ultimate despair reveal their own despair? I honestly can't believe how this has all turned out.
Hey.
Before we get started, I wanted to clarify one more thing. Do you remember the rule? When one student kills another, that's when a class trial is
What's
held.
wrong?
I remember that for sure.
Hey.
So what? I just want to confirm that is what you said, right? And that is a true statement? You don't have to be so suspicious. I've said it before, but it bears repeating. Everything is based on the school regulations. And having a trial for Mukuro is no exception for that. Huh? Mukuro's trial is no exception? Then it's part of the regulations. Which would have to mean that whoever killed Mukuro... It's a very polarizing approach, I know. But okay, enough puns. Anyways, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 participants. All of them high school students. And the only people to take a single step in Homepeak since the killing game began are those 16 students. What?
Listen.
Are you telling the truth? Why do you go quiet all of a sudden?
Now
I'm done talking.
really
I got nothing
angry.
to say to you. So get lost, would you? What's so mad? He seems emotionally unstable.
Hey!
Leave me alone. Get out of here. Okay, I'm going. You're really gonna let me go? I don't even care anymore. You're all gonna get your punishment later anyways. I need to start getting it ready. A super duper extra special punishment overflowing with despair.
Hey,
Come on, Makoto, let's go. Okay. Monokuma's unstable laughter seemed to cling to us as we walked away. And just like that, we were out at the gym. I can hardly believe it, but somehow I ended up getting executed. I still had my life. Wait. I think I read that last thing wrong. I still had my life and we still had a chance. Overall, things turned out way better than expected. Once again, I was Kyoko's dad. Kyoko, thank you. Everything I have right now is because of you. Don't thank me just yet. The real battle is still ahead of us. Yeah, true. And I'm glad it worked out. I wasn't sure if the enemy would accept my proposal. But honestly, why would the mastermind agree to that? I mean, they don't stand to gain anything from a final showdown, do they? They had no choice but to accept, huh?
Because...
It's all because that one moment that the mastermind let down their guard, like I said. So what was the moment the mastermind let down their guard down? I wasn't there to hear it myself, but do you remember what the mastermind said? They said they had hijacked the airwaves to broadcast our school life to the outside world, right? Yeah, they definitely said that. And what do you think what did you think when you heard that? Pretty hard to believe, right? Well, I mean, the idea of actually being able to take over the airwaves seems super unbelievable. You don't exactly read about something like that happening very often, so it's hard to imagine. In other words, that kind of thing is extremely difficult to pull off. And yet somehow the mastermind was able to do it. But, think of it another way. There must have been some reason they had to do something that difficult. A reason? They had to show the world something, no matter the cost of us killing each other. They wanted to show the world?
It would seem...
The mastermind has been very adamant about not killing us directly, but forcing us to kill each other. And all the rules and regulations were designed to encourage that. Yeah, that makes sense. If those stupid regulations didn't exist, nobody would have killed anyone.
In other words...
So the mastermind's ultimate goal was to make us kill each other, and show that off to the world. But
Correct.
why? Prove a point, most likely. Prove a point. The outside world has a name for students of Hope's Peak, right? A certain concept. You're talking about hope,
That's right.
And for those of us who represent hope to kill each other and sicken to despair, the mastermind wants the world to see that, to try and prove that despair is better than hope. That's their goal, is the ultimate despair. What? They want to prove despair is better than hope? That's ridiculous. You're right, it is ridiculous, completely irrational. It's the kind of thing that nobody but those who call themselves the ultimate despair would devise. That group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. But is that really their only reason for making the rest of us suffer? I know how angry it must make you, and yet that same motivation is what led the mastermind to revealing their weakness. What?
In other words...
Because their goal is to broadcast this killing game to the world. The mastermind has to be more particular than reasonable. Than is reasonable about their own regulations. Wait, what? Mastermind has had to be more particular than is reasonable about their own regulations. The mastermind simply ignored their rules. This wouldn't have been a game, but a one-sided slaughter.
At the very least.
At the least, that's how those who are watching this would have seen it. And that's why the mastermind couldn't kill any of us
Indeed.
themselves. That's precisely the reason. No matter how much they may hate what I'm doing, I haven't violated a single one of the regulations. Junko broke the rules, so she was punished. But in my case, they couldn't lay a finger on me.
Right.
So instead, they tried to use the class trial following all the proper rules to get me killed. They began a trial that didn't have a right answer and made me out to be the killer. But even that didn't work. Yes, thanks to you. And due to that failure, the mastermind took yet another risk. They attempted to kill you instead, who also was not the killer. And when that fact was exposed on live TV to the entire outside world, the mastermind had to accept your suggestion.
Indeed.
To prove to the world that despair is better than hope, they have to defeat us in perfect
In
form.
other words,
It would only do the mastermind harm to have it shown that they violated their own regulations. But all of that was just a hunch, right? And you were still able to get the mastermind to accept your
however,
challenge. Well, it's only thanks to you that we got the chance, because you believed in me and other paths opened up. Still, I can't believe how much the mastermind's thoughts and plans were able to figure out. I didn't have the slightest clue. In the end, though, I couldn't prove any of it. It was just reasoning. Essentially, I was making a bet. But it looks like I got it right. This time, at least, I won the bet. She let out a quick sigh. I took it as a small sign of relief. To be honest, I haven't been that nervous in a long time. I totally couldn't tell you were nervous at all. You seemed totally confident from the moment we decided to go talk to him. While presenting a strong demeanor is a fundamental part of negotiation and persuasion, wouldn't you say? Plus, if I'd shown my uneasiness, that would have just made you that much more uneasy. Yeah, you're probably right. Hypothetic.
however,
Anyway, we can't relax just yet. All we've done is earn another chance to fight. We have to win this time.
correct.
Or everything we've gone through will have been for nothing. You're right. If we can't defeat the mastermind, it'll cost us our lives. There's no option except to win. But before we begin the final battle, we have to tell the others what's going on. True. But how we'd know who our real enemy is? All we have to do now is work together with everyone to destroy the mastermind. Work together with everyone. Is that really possible?
Anyway,
Right now we have
shall
to
we
go find
go?
the others. They're probably in the dorm somewhere. Shall we go? So I think I'm gonna call it here for tonight because I am getting pretty tired and my throat is starting to hurt a little. So thank you everybody who tuned in. I appreciate it. I will be back Saturday with more Danganronpa. I'm hoping to end it by that point. And I will see you all then. I'm gonna drop a host to one of my friends, and if you feel like popping in and say hi, feel free. Here we go. See you guys.
Holy water. I've passed up a few holy waters. I kind of like the nickelback weapon, but it's